Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the internet that we must reach. Into the internet that we must reach. Into the internet that we must reach. Into the internet that we must reach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the CF1 stream. Now, if you were with us earlier in the day, you may have seen that the Western region have their playoffs occurring right now, and Beanies joined alongside Best Student. We're going to be bringing you the Western Regional Finals tonight, as we have ourselves UCI taking on the likes of San Jose State University. And as the Spartans are going to be taking on the Anteaters, we have quite a best of three coming up ahead of us, don't we, Jonah?
Yeah, sure we do, Kenny. We've got three maps in rotation here that are pretty standard. We've got Ascent for map 1. SJSU will start on defense. So look out between that map and the next one. We'll see some very different things, though. The second map will be Icebox, and to round it all, we'll have Haven.
And we should note that earlier in the day, we did get to see San Jose State on broadcast go up against Cal Poly Pomona, and they played Ascent and Icebox as their first two maps of that series as well. Excuse me. Now, as that series did go 2-0 in favor of San Jose State, their Ascent, I mentioned before broadcast, did leave something to be desired, at least on their defense. They were definitely lackluster. Even Choi Boy saying that they were getting a little too aggressive, maybe getting a little too ego-friendly, maybe a little too antsy, wanting to take some trades and duels, and they had to take a moment, pull themselves back, and then they ended up getting the Ascent win 13-8, as they did on Icebox as well, 13-8. So one thing I want to think about going into this, Jonah, is we had a chance to see the composition coming out from San Jose State earlier, and I don't expect to see too many changes on their Ascent look. They ran with double duelists with the Jet Phoenix. They came out with a Killjoy, a Sova, and an Omen as the 3 remaining supporting cast. But looking over to the other side, the team that we didn't see on UCI, with your knowledge, do you think that this is going to be maybe a mirrored matchup, or are UCI more likely to pull something out like maybe an Astra, for example?
Yeah, UCI in previous games, they've been the team in the West Coast who's adapted the fastest to this changing meta. They've adopted the Astra on maps like Ascent, and on maps like Icebox, they're running the fan favorite Viper pick, which we see a lot of teams start to utilize to the best ability. Of course, with that significant buff to both Viper and Astra, they are now much more viable competitively. And because of that, UCI has stormed onto the top of our standings. That being said, they are both 4-1, these two teams from the regular season. The key thing to note is that the one loss that SJSU had during the regular season was to UCI in the first week. So because of the fact that you have both teams here with different styles and different characters, different agents that like to play, and a past record of UCI winning, we're going to be seeing if SJSU can stop that ego pushing you mentioned from Ascent earlier today. And if they're able to, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, then they could very well take out UCI.
And it has happened in the past. In split number 1, we did see San Jose State go undefeated, taking down UCI and every other team in this Wild West. And unfortunately for them in split number 2, we did see UCI drop a game to Cal Poly in a surprising fashion, dropping that game 2-0, which was very surprising to see UCI go down in such a convincing fashion. But seeing how many times they've come out on top and how successful they've been, it seems like more of a blip on the radar than really cause for concern. And I think when we have a chance to actually see them get in action tonight in just a few moments, we'll see exactly why. As you said, they are a team that should be feared. They are quick at adapting. And personally, I love to see a good Astra being played, because I don't think she gets as much love as she really could be getting. But she also is divisive with the way that you definitely lose control of your character for a good chunk of time when using that her entire kit, I guess, for that matter.
Yeah, in order to place those 5 stars, you have to enter the astral form. So that happens when your character levitates off the ground, get into that Buddhist prayer position, and she puts up the little hood so that she can start, channeling the stars and the cosmic power.
It's all in the hood.
And from there, she can place 5 stars onto anywhere in the map. And once they're on there, she can use 3 different abilities, which are the smoke, the stun, and the gravity well. And because of that, she's very, very powerful when combined with other teammates coordinating. So, like, let's say, for example, you saw Nacho sometimes pick up the Sky. You could see a Sky flash into a gravity well on to any approaching enemies. And if that's the case, they're blind, they're being sucked up to one location. Crosshair placement should be relatively easy. That's really just all she wrote at that point if they're blind and being sucked up towards that gravity well. So look for some very, very well coordinated gameplay from the side of UCI on Ascent here. And SJSU from them, I'm looking at them and going like, wow, they're really aggressive, Kenny, right? You saw them earlier today and they're like, Choi Boy was saying in the interview, we were playing a little too aggressive, we were ego peaking. But that's the kind of stuff you like to see from SJSU, right? They were undefeated in split 1, split 2, they're relatively undefeated except for against UCI, so they've really got the West figured out, and because they do, they can play with that confidence. There's no one for them to fear, like we said.
Yeah, and to speak on that matter, earlier on, Teddy is a player that was undoubtedly getting a little too antsy. I can even picture on Icebox watching Teddy essentially just hold W and tailwind right into the enemy spawn, trying to get a few op shots here or there, but it didn't affect them too much. And actually, something we should mention that was pretty interesting we saw from the earlier games, I should say, is how much we saw SJSU really, I guess, stumble, I want to say, for example, on Icebox, when we saw them go up, I believe it was 5-1, 6-1, maybe even. And then all of a sudden, what looked like an 8-1 lead became an 8-4 lead, became an 8-6 lead. And I guess that, I don't want to say it's cause for concern, but it definitely leads us to think, what exactly was Cal Poly able to do that they were able to fight back so hard, and what can UCI do to exploit that and even get more rounds off of this team than the 8 that Cal Poly just couldn't break through. That glass ceiling of the 8 rounds, just that 9th round just kept eluding them. So close, so close.
I think the reason why Cal Poly was able to take so many rounds off of SJSU, and the reason why UCI was able to beat SJSU in round 1 of Split 2, was because they play a more disciplined style. When watching those rounds, it was pretty much up to the members of SJSU to make aggressive plays before the minute mark. And that's key, because before 1 minute, you still have a lot of time to fake a bomb site. You can fake towards A and then go rotate back towards B if you're on offense. If you're on defense, you can get aggressive during that marker. And because of that, SJSU, if they're pushing out before 1 minute and Cal Poly has their crosshairs accurately placed on the areas that they'll be coming and pushing from, then that's why SJSU has been losing those rounds. As you said, Teddy getting a little too aggressive, perhaps the rest of SJSU chiming in as well, being aggressive. So really what it takes to beat SJSU is a very disciplined style of waiting them out and letting them come to you. And then after they're there, you take the number advantage, you take the fight with them, and from then on, it's just playing pure, simple rotation, the nice math game.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about Valorant, really comes down to just simple math. I mean, if one team has more agents than the other, then you really just keep subtracting at that point until one team stands tall with one remaining. I mean, isn't that how all Valorant rounds are supposed to go, really, when you break it down? That's what we aim for, at least. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, if we could only have it that way of being a simple math game of 5-man rush B, 5-man rush A, only 1-2 people there. But that's why it's so interesting with these Astra abilities and these Killjoy utilities. You see a lot of players coming out with 2Ks, 3Ks, more than they should be getting. But that's because of not only the excellent individual skill that they're able to provide, but the team coordination from the rest of their team chiming with that utility from far away.
And Jonah, we should point out that Chris is actually subbed in for the likes of Teddy here for San Jose State University. So now that's going to force Thig, who was playing Phoenix earlier on in the day, onto that Jet. But it doesn't look like they will be suffering too much elsewhere. Fortunately, this is a simple plug and swap sort of format. These duelists are very capable players, and they'll be locking in the exact same lineup we saw earlier in the day. But Jonah, I want to bring up what we're seeing on the UCI side. We talked about they like to play the Astra, but even more important, I think, are the change in duelists between these two teams. The Jet and Phoenix up against the Reyna and the Rays. Both duelists, or both sets of duelists, have killing power and have a flash available to them.
Yeah, the reason the Reyna is run over the likes of the Phoenix is the Reyna can do a lot more lurking during rotation. She's able to pretty much look for a 1v1 kill anywhere on the map. Even on defense, she's allowed to push out pretty aggressively. Meanwhile, the Phoenix on the side of SJSU, that character in the hands of Chris is going to be deadly on this map. The reason is Phoenix is an orb hogger. On offense, he'll just grab orbs repeatedly, farm up that, run it back, and then just pretty much rip it in, have his whole team follow up. But now that we're starting the game with UCI on that offensive side, I'm really looking at Nibbler and Platinum here on that Astra and Sova combo. These are the top 2 performers for UCI in terms of frags for their team. And being on those utility-based characters is affording them a lot of different looks for their team.
Ooh, Jonah, look at how quickly we're seeing UCI take control of this middle, going straight into market, going to be looking towards B site, and it's really just hit the go button here, and it's catching the San Jose State University defense off guard a bit. Nazi going to be taking this aggression actually and rubber banding it back. A nice trade of kills there, even though they will fall eventually. SJSU, they had a moment where it looked like they were able to take on the push from UCI. Now, it's going to be left into the hands of June, who's able to take the trade and secure the round for UCI on offense.
Man, the round comes down to the last member trading back and forth. That right there was an excellent B split there by UCI. Of course, SJSU, they did respond in kind. It was a little unfortunate, though. Chris went down early on in that cubby position. Of course, that was off of the flash of Ferg, but still, you want to see these duelists get a little bit more thicker into the action. For this round, we're not going to really see too much, Kenny. We've gotten the, save round here from SJSU. So during this time, we could just expect some nice mop-up kills from UCI here.
See, you say that, the next thing you know, all of a sudden there's a right click to the head by one of the SJSU members, and we have a 5v4 with a gun in their hand. So much as we want to say that's easy peasy, we gotta see it come into fruition, and Platinum is gonna be doing their best to make sure that happens. But look, this is what I was talking about. Fig picking up 2 frags with the Sheriff. Not going to find much value as SJSU, as UCI is able to stop the bleeding incredibly quickly, leaving just Chris, the sub for San Jose State, to try and pull off a 1v3 with the Classic. Not much to expect from this, but hey, you'd love to see an opportunity, but Nibbler going to be shutting the door on that one, and UCI taking the 2-0 start to game 1.
Yeah, usually when you think about teams, you think about the star players being those Reynas, those Jets, but on UCI, it's so interesting. They've got Nibbler on Sova. This man has been an absolute menace in the collegiate leagues. He gets 3K that round, but all 3 of those frags, he didn't see the enemy player. It wasn't even, plain line of sight. It was through smokes, through walls. And that's the ability of playing Sova that you're afforded. You're able to spam down those angles, spam through those smokes, and get rewarded for them.
And that's why people value Sova so much. I mean, one of the reasons, honestly, you could go on and on. The corner clearing, so to speak, with the shock arrows, the information you get from the recon drone and the recon arrow, and then the Hunter's Fury is just a nice, safe way to just cancel out a Killjoy ultimate half the time. But Nacho going to be stopping Killjoy on their tracks. Choyboy not going to get a chance to even look at their faces. Nibbler given clearance onto the site as B is going to be a location, and Spike gets planted here by UCI. And then look at that, Jonah. It's going to be the Hunter's Fury just whipped out. No remorse, no impatience here. Nibbler is just going to be throwing it down, picking off 2 members, leaving just 2 on the retake. With Nazi putting up a fight. It's going to be just the Omen putting up that fight, leaving 4 alive for UCI in the 3rd round.
I'm really liking how UCI has this set mid to B take. You saw it on the pistol round, and you saw it on that 3rd round right there. They win the bonus round, which is so good for them. Now they've got stacks for days on their team, and that was all off of a very coordinated set piece. Platinum smoking off that CT position, Nacho throwing that Roomba out, Nibbler droning them through, and June and Nibbler going back through being named with Ferg throwing those flashes. Seems everyone on UCI knows what their role is in that take. It's going to be suspect unless SJSU can stop that push.
Oh, Joe, look at Fig, how fast they just brought the fight to the side of SJSU.
No, you don't.
Or excuse me, to UCI, but that's going to be a downed member in trade as Chris is able to get value at least off of Fig, just dashing in with the Blade Storm, giving up their life. The 4 versus 4. UCI is going to be a little slower this time around, taking their sweet time. You see the spike being swung through CT, or excuse me, T side.
Yeah, and they're putting a lot of faith here in Choyboy as the IGL. He was the B site anchor the last round, and now he's anchoring A, but they're deciding not to go towards him. They're doing the Cosmic Divide from Astra here, splitting the site, smoking off the heaven position. Perhaps this is going to be a full take or a fake, but Choyboy's been spotted out by a brilliant arrow from Nibbler, and Platinum gets the nice lurk kill on Astra. And look, the rotations are now pulled over, Kenny. All of SJSU has bought it hook, line, and sinker. UCI can just walk into the bomb site for free.
And Jonah, they're going to do just that. But look at this. Towards the back of B, there's going to be a Phoenix running into a Sova here. And it's going to be a head-on collision. Oh, excuse me. I thought it was a Phoenix, but it's going to be the Astra taking them down. With just Ferg picking up Omen. It's going to be UCI. 4 members taken down and 4 rounds under their belt. SJSU needs something to get them going.
Yeah, you're really looking at SJSU's IGL Choyboy right now, and you need him and Bear to start performing. You know, we talk about these frags and them being so important to the team. It just seems like they're not able to get online, and they've been the B-site defenders, Bear and Choyboy, and they've been getting a little brutalized by this mid to B split. So it looks like they're changing that setup now. So they're going to get aggressive with this operator in the hands of Thigwerb towards the B site. It's spotted out though, and all parties shaking hands momentarily before going back in. And Thigwerb!
Jonah, that handshake did not last very long there. Thig just smacking Nacho across the face, saying, "No thank you, put your hand away, my friend." SJSU going to be getting an advantage here, or it feels like the first time in this game. And how is the defense going to use it? They're going to give it up right away. Ferg trading back, giving UCI an evened out board, 4 agents apiece. And again, Jonah, we're seeing the spike just go back and forth, playing a game of Pong here through the T side. And Nibbler dancing around B site, but no committal yet. But if UCI wants this, look at it. It's just one member defending it. They could easily take it.
Yeah, and Thig's been spotted with this operator in CT, so they know UCI does that he's not over towards that site. And Bear pinches June's lurk in the back. So now UCI, that's the go signal for them. They've got to entry towards this site, and they're met by Chris's run it back. It gets that pick onto Ferg, meaning that his back is now being watched with 20 seconds left to play, though. It is up to Nibbler, the Sova superstar that we highlighted. He's been spotted by the recon dart, knows 2 players are approaching on him, goes for the spray on Choi Boy, and it's Choi that wins that round for his team, coming up huge, putting SJSU on the board.
Yeah, and Jonah, that felt like a much needed round for SJSU. If they went down 5-0, they were really going to start having the game slip out of their hands. I mean, even after a win, look at the buys that are coming through for San Jose State. They are still grasping at straws in some instances, going to have to rely on the fortunate and the friendliness of their teammates to get some guns out. But you could see even Bear is going to have to just settle for, oh no, I spoke a little too soon. Friendly love across the board, going to be spraying that economy. But if SJSU drop this round, they're going to be right back in that hole. So UCI still has the upper hand.
And Thigwerb with this operator has been very crucial for getting those opening picks. This time, though, Nibbler and the boys and the Zot, they're coming out with a bit of an A main take. Just going straight in here with that Raze Roomba along with the Hunter's Fury. They're able to pretty much gain full access to the site. And along with that site take, Ferg gets 2 before being responded to by Chris.
Yeah, the sub here for SJSU gonna have to put up a big fight, but Nazi's actually gonna be the one stepping up to the plate, finding one. A nice paranoia is gonna be thrown out to delay the push over through the archway, but Nibbler gonna be taking down Bear in response, giving UCI a 3-on-2. But look at that, and Jonah, the trades are coming through. The numbers are in the advantage of UCI, and they get themselves two agents left alive. I was gonna say 2-0, but that felt a little confusing.
Yeah, I really like in the way that UCI is playing. They have the 4 ultimates to their name in the Killjoy ultimate, the Hunter's Fury, the Raze Rocket, and Ferg's ultimate, the Reyna ultimate, allowing her to take duels more confidently. And they just hit the go button, man. Of course, UCI is known as that team that's very, very intelligent. They're able to do these fast plays and then have these set pieces and then also slow the round down. So I really like this mix-up from them early on. And SJSU, they have to respond here as Ishan's in a great position here to capitalize.
Oh no. Oh no. It looked like the Lear was messed up, but it worked out into their favor because of the player left in the corner who I think was Nazi. An interesting exchange of events right there. But overall, SJSU and UCI tied out at 3 agents apiece after Platinum takes down the advantage SJSU had. But the Spike still firmly in control of UCI. Not for long, possibly, though, as we see the Hunter's Fury coming out by Bear, and that's going to be Platinum drop. That's going to be Nacho drop. And that's just June left alone here in a 1 versus 3. Killjoy not able to pick up on Chris's location fast enough, and we see SJSU win the Thrifty.
Yeah, really good of SJSU. They had a great read on that round. That's going to be up to Choi Boy, though. He is the man in charge of this team. He called the B main stack right there. This full team was there, ready for this Hunter's Fury, the follow-up from Ishan and the rest of the team. Chris and Thig chiming in with that B main push. So often we talk about how trading out works in the favor of the offense, but not if you've got that follow-up from Bear.
It helps a heck of a lot if that Hunter's Fury is getting 2 kills with 3 shots available to it. I mean, that's efficiency at its finest there, folks. But Nazi, showing to be even more efficient there with the Phantom picking up a kill, giving SJSU a nice lead here yet again in this 8th round of combat.
Yeah, and that's the individual play we talked about. Nazi's so strong on that Omen, so confident, taking out his smoke counterpart, and because the smokes have been removed from the side of UCI, their executions will be a lot harder to pull off.
And that's a great point, Jonah, because not only do these frags matter in the fact that you're getting rid of a number of a player on the opponent, but you're getting rid of all the util that they could provide as Thig takes down Nacho. So when you get rid of someone like the Astro, as you said, that's going to be the smokes for the entire UCI lineup gone. So now if UCI wants to enter on a site, they have to play these mind games that, albeit they have shown to play very well and get themselves onto sites nearly for free time and time again, they have to worry about it, especially with Omen still being in SJSU's corner and those smokes still available.
Yeah, the smoke missing is so critical here as Thig gets the shot towards the crossing members of UCI, but they're not able to capitalize off of it as Ferg has found himself as this Reyna in a really good position for this post plan. He'll be in that cubby playing crossfire off of Nibbler, and it's going to be Ishan and Co. They've got first contact with this Omen, finds the headshot, goes for the second.
Oh, that's the opt-down. Chris is going to be left alone in this, but they have the life, they have the run it back available to them. Going to be sniffed out, so Chris going to be stuck with no armor in this 1 versus 1. June, though, looking to swing at the right time, and June picks the perfect opportunity right there to take down Chris and give UCI their 6th round in the game.
Yeah, usually as the killjoy right there, you don't want to peek into that Phoenix run it back, but he was so confident. He had the alarm bot on him. That double damage and vulnerability that provides gives him the easy frag, and then he relocates, taking down Chris. That round, man, it was on a nice edge, but the main takeaway is that even though UCI is losing some of these members, they're still able to play around their deficits. They played around the fact that they had no smokes. They used June's killjoy lockdown. And going this round, we're seeing a much slower pace from UCI, whereas SJSU, they're trying to step up the pace a little. They're trying to put Thig towards mid here, trying to get him a nice pick, trying to push out B main, trying to play weak side on A, strong side on B. Doesn't look like this scouting mission will go anywhere, though, as the members of UCI have evacuated the B site.
Oh, and now you can see the spike. Folks going to be moving through mid, but wow, Platinum and Chris, both of these players being a little sneaky here, picking up crucial frags for their team, but UCI going to be the last one to laugh here as Chris gets dropped, evening it up at 3 agents remaining, 2 kills apiece. But watch, Ferg going to have to be ready at the right time. Unfortunately, could not get the shot out. Nazi finding a frag with a Sheriff Jonah and getting a Phantom. A crucial exchange of weapons there for SJSU.
Yeah, and SJSU now with this weaponry, they've got 3 members, 3 rifles to the name, I believe. So because of this, let's see what they can pull off. They have the main advantage.
Too.
Yeah, they've got the Cosmic Divide, does UCI. The fake smoke to pretend they're not there, and the easy shot from Nibbler. They're going to be splitting B here, folks.
Watch out for Silva. Oh, he got him. Bear was so ready for this. The fast rotations coming out from the Silva of SJSU knew exactly what UCI was going to do, read them like a book, and drops the 2 members to pick up the 3rd round for SJSU.
Yeah, Kenny, and that was because of how excellently SJSU played that round. They smoked off mid early and then closed the B doors on their defense. So if anyone wants to split B, like UCI has been doing so much, they have to break those doors. And when you have to break those doors, it delays your push ever so slightly. And that's what let Bear get into position to collect those 2 easy frags.
I want to point out here, it's a broken by coming in from UCI, and you can see right now exactly what that looks like, folks. Going to be 3 members dropped at the top of the round before the Cosmic Divide can even come out.
Oof.
And SJSU doesn't have much of a reason to peek this. They throw the flash just to jumpstart the hearts a bit of UCI. Make sure they're on their toes, but smart choice is going to be waiting out that Cosmic Divide. It goes down. And SJSU now with the 5-on-2 advantage. They just have to hold these angles or Heck, hit your shots and you'll be all good, Thig.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here from SJSU.
Oh,
They're
no.
doing this. They're doing it a lot better today, or rather, a lot better this map than they did previously. An old SJSU from earlier today would have just pushed when they had that 5-on-2 advantage. But you just see, Kenny, the amount of utility they invested. They had the Phoenix Molly afterwards, the blind go on to him from Nashies, and then Bear through that recon dart. This guy is being roasted. He's blind. There's nothing he can do. This second player is also blind and then peeked by multiple people. This is a different SJSU than we're used to seeing. They're giving UCI the respect they deserve and playing around each other. And that's a really scary sight to see when a team of this individual caliber is also working together.
Yeah, and SJSU has the momentum on their side, and with the way the buys are coming out, Jonah, if SJSU can take this 11th round here, they're going to be sitting in a great spot to tie us up going into half. And Chris, the substitute here for SJSU, stepping up big, creating another advantage for this squad. Oh no, but that's going to be Thig getting dropped by Nibbler with the Hunter's Fury. And look at that, Jonah. A second shot by Nibbler. I believe that was onto the Phoenix, maybe to the Sova of SJSU, but regardless of which it hit, it did damage. It took down their HP bar, and that gives UCI, even with an even number of agents, they have that HP advantage, and that's incredibly important.
Yeah, they should know that they've damaged them from the damage report, and the fact that a Hunter's Fury has that hit confirmation on it. So SJSU moves both those low HP members back towards the deep boathouse of the B bomb site that are tucked away for this take. Is Nacho, the reason why you want to run this raise over that jet is because you have this double satchel rocket boom combo. Nacho looking for the entry with it. Doesn't? No, but he finds one.
Oh, it's the run it back, but does he get in time? He doesn't, but June is there for sure. The backup coming in from UCI's Killjoy was crucial to secure the kill onto Chris right there. It's Choi Boy, the last one left alive here, Jono, in a 1 versus 3. He does have the lockdown. He does have full HP. Heck, he even has the alarm bot and the turret available, so this is possible depending on how much Choi Boy is willing to invest.
Yeah, I've seen Choi win these, so let's see if he can today. All the members of SJSU are now down besides him, so it's going to be up to the IGL to pull off a hero round, and he going for the off save. I admire that play, very calculated, but it doesn't pan out as June pushes up.
And now because of that round going in favor of UCI, both these squads will have themselves a full buy for the final round. You can see even enough room to give over an operator to Thig here. And after that, you can see Phantoms coming out across the board. More love for the Vandal on the UCI side. To each their own, though, my friend, as both teams going to give an op over. But interestingly enough, seeing Platinum being given op duties here on the Astra isn't something you'd see based on agent like, you know, maybe a Jet would be getting. So that really lends itself to just the power Platinum has as an individual with that gun and how much UCI trusts them.
Yeah, putting an operator or any player on your team is a large investment, and Thig, oftentimes he's been met by this Killjoy. The Killjoy with that turret doesn't usually allow the Jet to walk out like that, but because they took the turret down so early, Thig gets rewarded with the nice opening frag onto the enemy Sentinel. That means the Lurker will be down, but in his place is Nacho. Nacho gets found out by Thig. Not able to land a shot is Thig yet, but nice grenade taking the members of SJSU down low.
Look at Phoenix. The HP left on Phoenix is so low after that grenade. Nibbler taking down 2 here. The Silvas from both squads actually putting on some kill feed shows. But the spike is going to be planted on A for... Honestly, Jonah, I can't tell you the last time the spike was thrown down on A side in this game. It's been a lot of love going towards B. But the Hunter's Fury is going to come out to delay the spike plan. Actually, Bear picks up a frag here. And with Chris going down, it's evened out at 2 apiece. But Nibbler playing bodyguard, playing offensive line here as the spike goes down. And that's going to set the timer here. But look at Thig, look at Thig, look at Thig! Gets the frag, takes down Platinum. And this is going to put a timer on Nibbler's head. This means Nibbler has to make sure they don't let the opportunity waste. And even though the lineup was there, Thig is going to pick up the frag, and SJSU gets the 5th round as we head into halftime.
That's some great awareness there by Thigwerp. He has the operator start the round, gets the opening pick for his team, changes out the weaponry, going to that rifle, making it a little easier for him to flank, as he doesn't have to just stay scoped in there. Just barely misses this timing, but gets rewarded for the nice flanking position. Platinum losing that duel means that UCI is going to still be up, though. The pistol round is all that separates the two teams. If SJSU can get this one, they should likely win the bonus round, and it will be tied 7-7, Kenny.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this halftime, really, because even though this is 7-5, as you said, SJSU can easily tie this game up, easily, just by starting it off with a good pistol round here. And sometimes that just comes down to landing one good shot with the Ghost, maybe two good shots with the Frenzy. Nibbler doing everything they can to help.
That's
UCI.
so much information.
That's a lot. And now the Recon's going to give more, but the smoke, it's used as a shroud, basically, giving away or keeping the information from being given away. And that's going to be Furry picking up 2 frags here, leaving with the Empress getting 2 Devours, healing the health back up to near full. And so Nibbler's going to step in where Reyna stepped out, leaving Bear with the only member on this offense alive, as UCI has set themselves up incredibly to take the pistol round. And after that alarm bot spooks him a bit, and myself, it's going to be UCI going up 8-5.
Yeah, spooky alarm bots are what's winning UCI these rounds. You saw the combination, the hard read from UCI right there. They know that SJSU, from all the game footage they've seen of them, they like to do that mid to B split. 3 members were stacked tight already for them there. And look, the nice gameplay from that entire team right there. Platinum putting that gravity well, comboing with Nacho's nades, and that invulnerability that's applied from the gravity well is what allowed Nibbler to get those frags. Just a really nice setup from UCI, reading the potential that SJSU has to go towards that mid to B position. And like I said, there is this bonus round. We're not expecting too much from SJSU, but they do have every chance to win this round. There are 2 Astra Stars and a Killjoy in their way. As Nibbler finds the information, there's nothing to speak of, and it's going to be a 5-man A execute, but will they check Platinum in Winery?
Look at the Cubby just waiting there, as you said, Platinum. And look at that, they're going to be showing themselves. It's going to be 1 frag picked off. Now it's just do or die. Take as many members as you can. It's going to be dropped before another frag can be found. But look at the HP pools of the offense right now. 4 fully health out members of UCI. And SJSU, they have 1 member sitting at full HP. The other 3, well, I guess they add up to 1 full HP bar combined.
Yeah, but in this game, you can still get 1 shot, 1 kill, but that's exactly what Ferg does. 1 shot, 2 kills, perhaps, for him right there.
30 seconds left.
Blind into A main. Should know that the rest of the team is still around here, as Nibbler didn't find anyone in mid, so it looks like it's just going to be a patience game. It's the who will peak first.
I mean, at this point, I'd love to see the classics do a little damage here. The Spectre's going to get a little time in the spotlight, but Chris actually, with 1 HP, Jonah going to get a frag. And heck, even though it was only 1 for Chris, and 2 overall, it still hurts UCI, who bought.
Yeah, good shot by Chris, and the immortal words of T1 Dazed. Man, we're losing to Glocks, man! Gets shot there in the face by the Classic. Isn't able to respond. And as we go into this 15th round, we're going to be seeing a full gun investment from the side of SJSU. The individual gameplay that they're so often touted for is matching up against UCI's disciplined game plan. And we're going to see if they have what it takes on offense to beat their Western rivals.
We have a little scan coming in. Gonna give away a little bit of intel there on B side. Just showing 1 member was in the area, nothing too crazy. SJSU still able to keep their heads on. The bomb not in anyone's control here. Choi Boy actually gonna get drops, getting a little too aggressive there. Nibbler putting the Ares to work, as you love to see Silva's on the scent do.
Yeah, look at the discipline. Look at the discipline from UCI. They get the pick and they immediately, both of the players, Nacho and Nibbler, fall back into different positions, giving them the space. They got the frag. They can get out now. Playing that numbers advantage in June. He's tucked himself into a great position. Does Fig check this? And he does. Very aware by him. Dashes through that tree position, getting onto site. His team can now entry with him. Ishan and the crew coming through. And this is going to be a full 4 versus 4 retake unless anyone goes crazy here before the bomb goes down.
30 seconds left.
Lots of spray in here, Jonah, but no frags. Just clearing corners, threatening, but nothing to be found just yet. Oh, a nice little Sova arrow is going to be taken down immediately after going up. But look at this, 1, 2, 3, UCI. The retake was so clean, and with 4 members standing tall after another bonus round for the UCI lineup. They're going to be getting quite a few guns here along with that dub.
Yeah, it's so difficult to hold on to the A-bomb site in retake, in post-plant, because you don't have any cat control right there. There's no lurker coming through, and you have no one in A main either. So you see all 5 members from SJSU, they're funneled towards this site, right? The recon dart comes out, scans the player in hell, and players are able to rush from all other angles. Out through that cat door, you have to worry about A main too, because they don't have any information there. Really, really going to be tough for the likes of SJSU in this matchup if they're not able to claw their way through these offensive rounds.
Get out of my way.
Ooh, looking up. Nibbler's recon drone just gonna find a little bit of info. Gonna step out and look at that. Nazi's gonna be taking down Nibbler, making the Marshal look like an operator there, because when headshots come into account, doesn't matter which one you got, they both do the same kind of damage. And that's UCI falling behind.
And the 149 return there is just because he was using the Phantom, not the Vandal. Maybe a little, evidence for why the Vandal is a bit better than the Phantom at far ranges right there. Couldn't get that one tap down, that extra damage. As members of SJSU start to group over towards this B site. They've got Fig in mid to create some sort of presence on this jet. Nope, he's still going there. And Choi Boy, look at him. He's crawled himself out.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that worked for Thig. Why did that work for Thig? That should not have worked for Thig. But he's gonna make it work because that's just what he does, I guess. UCI, with only the Empress active, it's gonna be left into the hands of 2 of these members here against the 5 on site and the retake. It's not looking pretty here. You got, what? A little less than half of the Empress remaining here, so you gotta make the most of it, Ferg. You gotta step up to the plate and find the frag.
Yeah, and the post-plant position is a little bit better for SJSU this round, as they have Nazi in the B main position this time around, but all other 4 members are stuck on that B site, so they have to exit eventually, and that's what they're playing for is UCI, as Ferg gets one, gets the second one, goes for the heal, and doesn't get the third.
Ferg was very close to getting another one off that, but the Thrifty is going to go over to SJSU, who get themselves back into this game and get their first round of the second half. Look at that. 3 straight rounds going over the UCI before SJSU gets this one under their belt, and they can't be sitting too comfortable just yet, Jonah, because even though they got that first round of the half under their belt, they can't get into a pattern of take around, give around, take around, give around, because that's how you start to see your economy fall apart faster than you could say fall apart.
Yeah, and they've got to hang on to that money situation here. As look how powerful the Astra raise is towards this A site. They're not able to get anywhere towards that A main position as Fig were doing Fig things, looking for fights towards mid. He's got Choi to help him out.
Both leaders.
They should know Ferg is stuck here.
Yeah, Ferg really in a bad spot. Use both of their Leers to keep them alive, and that Astra smoke going to be used just to get them out of dodge. Good team communication right there, securing the safety of their ally, but Platinum's actually going to be the first one to go down after being such a good ally. They give up their life for their team as well. My God, you love to see it. And then Chris, holy moly, making the molly look like a grenade right there, taking down Nacho, giving the SJSU offense a chance to take the lead. But Ferg having none of it, evening up the odds here, even though the spike is going to be thrown down by the offense.
One enemy
Such an
remaining.
unfortunate dink there by Thigwarp. He gets the headshot onto his opponent, but doesn't confirm the kill, and that's June, like you said, Kenny.
June, looking so good. Only, what, 3 weeks away, I guess. I'm excited to see you, June, and you're doing a great job already right now, so kudos to you. Kudos to you. Favorite month.
Yep, 21 days until June rolls around, and I'll finally get those keycaps I ordered last year, Kenny.
That, honestly, long overdue by the sound of it, Joe. Long overdue.
Placing swamp grenade.
I ordered clothes like a month and a half ago, and I still haven't got them, so maybe I'll get them in June, you know? Maybe.
Oh no, definitely. June is the month. I feel it coming. And June is the player in this game right now that's flirting off his rocker for UCI. Looking to close this one out as they have 11 rounds, and going towards A main early is SJSU, but every time they go here, they're met by this Astra Smoke into the nade combo from Nacho and Platinum, and it's really causing them a lot of problems when they want to go A like this over and over. And look at that, Thigwarp, Choi Boy, taking out a player, or yes, that is Choi Boy taking out a player in the form of Ferg. Gonna swing it in the offense's favor ever so slightly, as Platinum's in this winery position that he's played before. So let's see if SJSU can snuff him out this time.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury comes out from Nibbler. Nice damage onto Chris, and also putting out a little bit of hurt onto the rest of the squad. But Nazi able to take the numbers advantage into SJSU's hand, and Choi Boy gonna throw the lockdown into play as we have 4 seconds remaining. But look at this sight, Nibbler giving it up
left.
just before we see the push through archway. An unfortunate timing there for UCI's defense, and the spike is going to go down for SJSU, who have the 3-on-4 while they control the site. Looking good for the offense, but Nibbler has other plans in mind.
Yeah, and they've got this Killjoy lockdown for the retake, so the members of SJSU on the offense have to get out of dodge. But they make the play. Nazi runs up mid. He entries with his team in A main and makes the nice flank back towards mid, rewarding his team with the 2K and the round. That's a much better way to play post plant on the A bomb site. It seems SJSU, they heard me. They said, we played too many people on A bomb site. This time around, they have Nazi flank. They know that Choi Boy has this, June has this lock it down. They've got to make some sort of play. They do exactly that. Great round from SJSU. But the economy still exists there for UCI, Kenny. Still anyone's game, as both teams have bought back up into it.
Yeah, and this is where it really gets interesting, folks, because if we see SJSU start to go on a run, you can watch this 11-7 lead slip away like water falling through your fingers. But Platinum going to be the first one to pick up a frag here and give UCI a chance to stabilize. Thig, though, fighting back strong for the offense, cannot get the evened out numbers, but at the end of the day, the 3 versus 3 comes to fruition. Now we have a stalemate between the two sides. Interestingly enough, SJSU favoring this A side, whereas UCI, we saw them favor that B side a lot. And to each their own, but right now, SJSU need to think twice about where they're bringing the spike.
Yeah, they're worried about mid here. They're grouping up, doubling up here to clear out this position, as someone could have pushed up here. They've got Choi Boy in the tiles position, Nazi in mid with his Sova player Bear. And they're going to be slowly but steadily clearing out this position. They have the 3-on-3, but if they group up and look for a fight together, you can do just that. And they take down another person. They're 3-man unit strong, sticking together. It's going to be up to June, that favorite month of ours. Let's see if he's up for the test against these 3-man strong from SJSU. Takes contact, gets the first and the second, does June. And Ferg comes through with another.
And Jonah, I was talking about how fast this lead for UCI could slip away if SJSU was stringing together a couple rounds. But now with UCI able to take control here, it's not looking good for the Spartans, as you can see from June's POV here in Boathouse. That's just free real estate, my friends. Taking 2 kills, getting another as well. And UCI looking ready. I mean, look at the purchases right now, Jonah. We have a half shield Spectre from Chris, the full shield Sheriff from Bear. It's not looking very good at the start of this round for SJSU.
Yeah, and Platinum and Nacho have that Rocket and Cosmic Divide, so they can do so much this round from a tactical perspective. I'm expecting UCI here to pull off something tricky, you know, allow the enemy to push in, maybe play a retake with that Cosmic Divide and Rocket. It's to be up to Nibbler here on the B site. He's been trusted alone, and maybe a little bit of false trust placed on him as he gets taken down by Figwarp. He's finding his shots now, has those knives online, and Bear and Fig, they find another one. That's going to be the Beast Bomb site opened up for the side of SJSU, and I like this Omen gameplay from Nazi. He's afforded the from the shadows there, gets the spike, even though it's Sword's Egg, he can TP his way over, and this retake is going to be a perilous climb for UCI, as they're all stuck in that CT position. They don't really have a way to exit except through a one-way smoke, or through a recon dart, or through something else, you know?
Oh, speaking of one-way smokes, that's a little risky with Boathouse being so susceptible. You have Fig picking up one. Ferg trying to be the hero, but unfortunately for them, SJSU has other plans in mind. And on a broken bye for the offense, we do see them stabilize, keep themselves in this, and stay fighting in this game one.
Yeah, and that's the versatility you can do with the Omen. It's just a little bit easier to get those smoke downs and get back into that fight. The wonderful one-way smoke in that post plant allowed Bear to get that 3-piece for that round, and that's the power you have when you play this character. It's a lot more versatile in the mid-round, but if Platinum is able to set up nice stars pre-round, then there is a slight advantage. That being said, UCI is going to be on this little, ghost with Sheriff by. Only one player investing a rifle into this round. And it looks like they've read it right. SJSU, Choi Boy doing due diligence, checking the mid position, can't get the shot, and Nacho gets his one. But they're on the B side already.
Oh my gosh, you hate to see that. Fig just barely unable take down Ferg, who gets the Devour, heals back up, and leaves UCI with two members alive, but fully HP'd out. Even with the Frenzy here, this is a threat to Bear. If they just step a little too far forward, or in the wrong spot when this smoke goes down, it's not going to be looking good. And look at that, Platinum's going to be giving up their life here, trying to return fire. The Frenzy's not going to have enough in it, but the reload comes through. Unfortunately for them, Chris, with the laser focus, takes down that remaining UCI member through the wall.
Oh man, he just ran up on him. His teammate wasn't able to help him out, cross that line of sight. They had a nice crossfire. Did SJSU going on, but even if it gets broken, they still got Chris to close out the round, and close it out he does, Kenny. And this right here, this exact Ultimate Economy state, June doesn't have the Killjoy lockdown, and Bear and Chris have the run it back on Hunter's Fury. So they're going to go for an A take. Chris, with this run it back, will probably entry along with the likes of Bear's Hunter's Fury. This combination should be able to help them get onto the A site. As soon as these smokes fade, and Fig will go in. And there it is, Hunter's Fury, run it back. The execute is on, Fig is in, and the whole entirety of UCI falls back very smartly.
That's going to be so risky. Nibbler able to get out just barely. But my god, just narrowly missing out on a frag onto the jet. Fig underneath. Gets out with the molly, hurting their feet. An incredible display of skill as we see cooldown being traded across the board. But Ferg, hoping to be the difference maker here, is going to be concussed for just a moment. As they get hit, they're going to be dropped, leaving Bear trying to play hero, but SJSU going to be the lone member standing with just Chris trying to play superhero, but no luck to be found. The sub cannot be the lone member that make them survive in game number one. We'll be going over the UCI.
Defenders win.
Yeah, a very close game, Kenny. It comes down to a 13-9, and that round was so well played by UCI in terms of ultimates. They knew that SJSU's plan was to use the Hunter's Fury, and in combination with the Run It Down, they let that happen. They all backed off there, and then as they backed off, they re-entered in with the Cosmic Divide and the Recon Dart. very well coordinated by them, and props to them on the win. They played it very tactical and disciplined on their half.
And Jonah, at the top of the broadcast, you pointed out 2 players to watch out for on UCI were going to be Nibbler and Platinum. But Ferg stepped up massively here on the Reyna, doing exactly what you want your Reyna to be doing, and that's top fragging the lobby. Because when Reynas are getting frags, or even getting assists for that matter, they're using their abilities, they're contributing, they're staying alive, and they're applying pressure. And Ferg did just that time and time again. A fantastic job by UCI across the board. And for the likes of SJSU, even though it was a little bit rocky for them, they still put up a very solid defense against the offense from UCI. But when SJSU was playing the offense, they really started to stutter step, it looked like, a little bit.
Yeah, they weren't able to get a grasp into the round because Nacho was using those paint shells, those grenades early on in the round. And SJSU really likes taking space early on offense, and because of the paint shells, they're not able to do that. Platinum's dropping gravity wells towards B, smokes towards A. You're not really able to get towards those 2 spots, so mid was the name of the game. And you saw Nibbler, he was jump spotting that market position, making sure that no one was there. And luckily, Ishan was able to take him out in that market with that excellent Marshall headshot. But other than that, they weren't able to get access through mid since the pistol round. And I think that was because of the shutting down of the early presence by Platinum's utility. Of course, it doesn't show up on the scoreboard, but in the game footage, it speaks for itself. The Astra is very powerful on the defense. It shuts down the early aggression, and they did just that. Ferg, as you highlighted, topping off the scoreboard, 26 frags. It seemed that every single time he had that Empress, he just popped it off cooldown and got 2.
That's what you want to see. I mean, when Arena has the ability to use the Empress, you want to see him throw it down and even secure a round for that matter, because it's the lone ultimate that, I guess, boosts the kit you already have available to you. Just giving you that amplified attack speed, giving you the invisibility, the bada bing, bada boom, the instant devour. It's also much to handle if you're on the defense. And we see time and time again, too many teams fall into the trap of taking 1 versus 1s against Arena with the Empress active. And we know that's going to go in Arena's favor. But we've had enough chance to recap. We've had enough chance to speculate. We're going to take a quick break, everybody. And when we get back onto the other side of this, we will be looking at Icebox as map number 2, as SJSU look to fight back and UCI try to claim a 2-0 in the Western Regional Finals. Welcome back, everybody. Beanies and Best Student bringing you game number 2 of UCI taking on San Jose State University in our regional finals for the Western region here in CF1. And after a dominant game from the side of UCI here on Ascent, we're going to be moving over to Icebox here, where hopefully SJSU have a chance to put their best foot forward, because if they don't, they're going to be looking at the bad end of an 0-2.
Yeah, and in week 1 of Split 2, this past April, there was a 2-1 in the favor of UCI versus SJSU, and it doesn't seem like they've cleaned up a lot of those things that they need to work on. Discipline, it's getting slightly better, it's getting there, but from the side of SJSU, it seems like their early aggression isn't really paying off like it usually does. Versus other teams, they're able to get aggressive early, get that man advantage, and then steamroll them through with momentum. But versus UCI, who's playing very disciplined at around utility, Astra utility and the Sova utility, they're not able to really find those picks unless you have a miraculous Marshall shot, as we saw from Nazi in the mid position. But other than that, I mean, I'm expecting some agent lineup changes, Kenny, in this upcoming match.
Well, we are going to Icebox, which tends to be a map that has a unique meta in of itself. You know, we do see some agents on here that may not be seen too often on other maps. I mean, something that comes to mind is Sage is almost a must pick because of the ways you can guarantee spike plants on both bomb sites. It's incredibly useful using that wall, and as you can see in Agent Select, both teams valuing that Sage incredibly highly, as they're going to be locking her in. But, gentlemen, before we get to these final lock-ins coming in from the agents, you can see them dribbling in here or there. A quick shout-out to our friend in stream, the Ball Player 42. Shout out to you, my friend. You redeemed those channel points. I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for hanging out with CF1.
Yeah, the top tier collegiate league here and the Western Finals is what we're bringing to you. UCI is still up 1-0, but on Icebox, we've seen a lot of game footage here of SJSU. They like to run this solo duelist with the Sage on their lineup. You still have the tried and true Omen. And it looks like SJSU, they've got the lineup that they usually run, except they got the Sage mixed in there. This is a map that Choi Boy's done extensive research on, and I'm looking at him because last game he didn't have too much of a, too good of a performance, but this map individually, I expect him to be stepping it up.
Yeah, especially knowing that this is an 0-1 deficit. SJSU are facing. UCI is a team that is to be feared. The way that they're utilizing each of their agents to the fullest is going to be a beautiful sight to see, with Platinum now swapping off of that Astra over to the Viper, staying in the controller role. Except this time going to be relying a lot more on consistent lineups. Arguably one of the downsides of Viper play is how you can predict where exactly she will be based on that wall going down early in the round, or committing to where the wall goes down. But for the offense in SJSU, they don't have to worry about that. A nice wall is going to prevent any shots to come along B side. And look at that, a trade coming across the board there. Choi Boy going to be the bait, leaving the A site completely clear. Look at that. Choi Boy was the bait, giving up their life for the better cause of the team. Now SJSU have been able to flip the point on its head, and UCI are scrambling to recover from this, but Nacho doing a great job here, using the cooldown, using the left clicks, using all of their equipment available to them. And with Platinum's help, UCI take what SJSU threw at them, and they take the wrong way.
I was looking at that like, man, oh man, the map got flipped right there. It seemed the defense from UCI was the one to push out A main, and SJSU was able to wrap A. So they ended up switching positions, did the offense and defense, and because of that, the pinch from Platinum there at the latter half of that round, they didn't account for that. SJSU got caught right there. Platinum flanked in through behind them. And really, that round, I mean, Nacho, so much credit to him. He stayed alive, waited for that flank to come in, gets the nice one tap, and then follows it up with another dink, making it real easy for his teammate to come in, clean it up. It's looking all good for UCI here as they win the pistol, as they have done so on both halves of Ascent. And now in Icebox, they've got themselves the third pistol round in this series. And off of these pistol round wins, they look to capitalize and start to build their economy. And we know that SJSU, who has a gun deficit isn't all that scary. So if UCI can keep them there like that, then it'll be all good.
Platinum opening it up here for UCI. Nicely done with this Viper getting some crucial utility. You love to see the Viper wall there on B site. It's an incredible wall, as you can see on your minimap, cutting off 3 separate entryways for the offense to walk through. And all you have to do is touch the Viper poison, and that decay is going to hit you for 50. And that's one of the best parts of her kit. Well, best or worst, depending on which side of it you're on, but for Viper players, the best part of her kit.
Yeah, the Viper wall does a lot, and it's taking the spot of that Omen or Astra on this map. So it's really going to be up to Platinum to do a lot
30
with it.
seconds left.
Oh, Nacho is able to count their lucky stars, Jonah. June and Ferg covering their teammates' backside, securing their life and 2 frags. Well, the spike is going to be going down here on the B side. Nope, scratch that. Not even allowed to plant the spike. UCI nip that in the bud and take the 2-0.
Yeah, really nice rush there from Platinum. SJSU tried to throw the fake, the good old 1-2 combination, fake the A bomb site, then they'll rush into B at the same time the players on A die. But that isn't going to be bought by UCI. They've gotten the anchor, Platinum, on that B bomb site, so they're able to rotate freely. And this round is what it usually comes down to in Valorant, Kenny. All about this gun round, this bonus for UCI, and this full buy by SJSU.
I will say that SJSU back earlier in the day won all 4 of their 3rd rounds of the half against the likes of Cal Poly. They were consistently able to pull out the round wins with the assault rifles, with the guns available to them. So we'll have to see if they can continue this going up against UCI, who are responding to the aggression nicely. Maybe not as expected with 2 frags going over to SJSU here. You can see they're going for these peaks. They're going for the trades. A nice kill coming out from Chris there. Gives the SJSU squad quite the advantage in numbers. And now, Jonah, look at this. They're playing the mind games a bit. Backing up off A site. But where are they going to take this spike?
Yeah, they got to be wary about Platinum here in the mid position. His Viper wall is still up. That poison does decay you, makes you vulnerable. But a good play here by Figwerb, SJSU's Sage here, walling it off, playing the slow game. They're not really planning just yet, making sure that the smokes are down. There isn't any shenanigans here from UCI that can be made. So it's going to be the 2v4 retake. They're pretty much just going to try to take away the members if anyone's over-aggressive, overzealous, takes that peak. Doesn't seem to be the case, though, as SJSU is playing this very disciplined.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, Nazi taking down June, and with Fig picking up a frag as well. SJSU backing up my claim here, showing off their skills with a pair of assault rifles, or I say a pair, but they had about 5 available to them there, and they're going to be getting themselves a round win.
Yeah, they've got the Pentagon of assault rifles going on with that nice 5-man crossfire. And SJSU, they got this first round in their offensive half. The main thing is that was a bonus round from UCI. They can still invest into this next round, and that's what's so dangerous in the game of Valorant when you have a bye after you lose a round. This is going to be what the test is for SJSU. Is now instead of the UCI members having a weak weaponry, they've got similar weaponry, and let's see if he plays this timing. Choi Boy does play the timing. Doesn't get the kill confirmation there.
Ooh, Nacho going to be taking down 1. Nacho going to be taking down a second. 2 headshot frags coming in from the Rays here on UCI. Not even having to use those paint shells to pick up the 2 kills. But Nazi lurking alongside the spike here. You can see on the minimap that Platinum on that Viper is going to be running into the 2 of them if they watch the other side of yellow. But no noise has been made.
Yeah,
Platinum
they're going to flank
turn
him.
around. Platinum has to turn around. No, they're going to be shot in the back of the head. The stealth works for SJSU, and they're going to be getting the spike plant down. And Nazi stepping up to the plate huge here, evening it out at 2 agents apiece.
Yeah, and this is why you don't want to put that guy on Astra. He's such a versatile Omen player, playing off of his rifle, moving around, using that from the shadow and the teleport to put himself in very advantageous positions for him, like this one. He's got himself deep into 2
One
See if
enemy
anyone
remaining.
checks, and Bear taking first contact though. Nacho has to drop down and doesn't get away with it. The falling accuracy not in his favor as Nazi claiming that round for SJSU, pulling it back from a two-man deficit where they were down 2-4 in numbers. Now that he's bought that back, the members of SJSU must be feeling good now. They've gotten a string of rounds, a couple together now, and because of that, their economy is starting to ever so much bolster itself. So I'm expecting a nice, easy coast this next round from SJSU, hoping, Kenny, that there's no caster curse though.
You know, whenever someone says that, the caster curse is most potent to strike. That's when it's most volatile. You gotta be wary when you bring up the legendary CC caster curse. But we'll have to see if it works. Have to see if it comes to fruition. Have to see what kind of magical powers you have. Maybe write it in your death note. See what happens with that too. With Nazi gonna be picking off one. Nacho though, with the sheriff training it out as well. Still, keep in mind SJSU have the guns in their back pocket. But Ferg has the Blade Storm here, and that's a deadly ultimate if you can land the shots. But not able to hit a killing blow onto the Omen, leaving 3 members of SJSU to play. But the Spike, Jonah, the Spike has yet to go down. Choi Boy finally able to get it
Spike
planted.
planted.
Yeah, and that showstopper shut down by Choi Boy's headshot, and this looks to be his round. The first hill he got was so important as he stopped Nacho from using that showstopper in that B heaven position. And there's Choi with another 2, Kenny. He cleans that round up, and it's looking like Caster Curse, the legendary CC. I mean, I don't want to say it yet, but I think I'm breaking it, Kenny.
Look at you breaking out, defying the caster curse. You are more than just the caster curse, okay? And that's going to be our goal for this cast, is to prove that even though casters may say statements, that doesn't mean that the opposite is guaranteed to happen, okay?
Yeah, I'm really looking at SJSU this upcoming round. They've got 4 ultimates to their name. One more frag or orb away from another ulti. So they're going to hit this A-bomb site. Choi Boy's lockdown should remove any members from A, any defenders. Looks like, though, Ferg and Nacho may be sticking around. Nope, they're backing up, getting out of dodge just now. And because of that, the Spike should be able to go down relatively freely as Bear looks for the Hunter's Fury, and all the confusion that UCI has to escape from gets the tag. And look at the ultimates being used. SJSU invests so much into this round, and they get rewarded for it.
Ooh, SJSU really stepping up to the plate here. Look at that, 4 members just having to take down the last 2, and even 2 is a hefty claim with the HP pool remaining for UCI. They have chosen to give up the round here, not going to want to get too rambunctious here, savoring the equipment that they have, and possibly going to be finding some exit frags. As you see, there could be a run-in in about 10 seconds between these 2 squads.
Yeah, this is so much better tactically from the side of SJSU. They're playing a lot more disciplined. They could run into each other, though, like you said. Bear gets the shock dart! Confirmation kill onto Ferg, jumping fadeaway.
Bear, that was absolutely ridiculous, my friend. I don't know what you ate this morning, but if it's a bowl of Wheaties, I want to have whatever he's having, my friends. That was it Captain America, I think, is able to throw his shield with perfect calculations and force, knowing exactly what's needed to bounce it at the right angle to have it come back to him. That was basically what Nibbler just did.
And the cap is now gone from Marvel, so now we're just left with Bear now. And Bear doing Captain America things, making him proud. This round, though, focusing up is UCI's defense, and they've been playing pretty much the same setup. They've got a couple players towards mid that rotate towards A. They trust Platinum to anchor B, and it doesn't look like that's enough. Maybe we need to start bringing the Viper over here as SJSU is seamlessly steamrolling the A bomb site.
Wow. And it's Platinum trying to fight back, but Nazi not having any of it. Gonna pick up a 3K and give SJSU a 5-2 round lead. Look at that. You talk about SJSU being a momentum-based team. Well, there's your evidence, my friend. 2 rounds, they were feeling down. 5 straight rounds that they're feeling on top, looking for a 6th straight.
Yeah, and critically, they still have this Sage Resurrection, Chris's Empress, and From the Shadows by Nazi, so they still have a lot of playmaking available to them. They could fake a bomb site, TP to the other one. Chris can look to run it in with that Empress, and even if someone goes down, they've got to account for Thigwarp. He's got that Resurrection, and Choi Boy, they don't even need the Resurrection. When you headshot with the operator, the enemy jet as Killjoy, that is a statement.
Choi Boy is looking to cement SJSU as a competitor here. But Nibbler, not having any of it, gonna pick Ferg back up,
Calling my bot.
giving UCI an opportunity here to reestablish this 5 versus 5, and Platinum's not gonna waste that. Look at that. Fig is gonna be dropped, and that's crucial, Jonah, because now SJSU don't have that res available. They're stuck with the 4 versus 5 here that UCI has created from going down early on. As Bear is going to fall to Platinum here. The spike not going down just yet. Gonna be baited for a second, but now gonna be placed.
Yeah, really looking at Ishan here in this kitchen tunnel position. Spots the first, taking down Nibbler. That's the aggressive Omen play we see from him and we love to see, because you don't want this man on Astra when he's able to do this, taking contact and taking heads.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, only 1 member remaining from the defense here on UCI, and they can't even worry about the last 2 players. They have to get the spike in their sights here. Nacho, you have an operator, but that bomb, that spike, it's ticking faster and faster. So you got to make sure that you get yourself away from danger, secure the operator, and just bite the bullet, because SJSU have got themselves their 6th round here on Icebox.
Yeah, it's a game, Kenny, we've got on our hands here, and that's all because of some great reads by SJSU so far. They know that Platinum is the solo defender here towards B because they've been abusing A so often. So they draw the rotations to A early on with Choi Boy's operator, and then they hit the brakes, go over towards B. They have the B site for free as soon as Platinum goes down, and that's what allows Nazi to pick up the kills in the rotations. They don't even invest the ultimates that round, and that's what's so key. Nibbler and Co. at UCI, they lose the round, and they invest Resurrection. And now they're down in money. They've only got the operator, only got pistols around it. So let's see if this operator, this hero operator from the side of UCI that they saved from last round, will pay off.
Well, you have the nice wall from Nibbler coming out early on. It's going to be used as a way to just prevent any early movement from SJSU. Going to have to penetrate through that barrier. Ferg missing a crucial shot with the op. Not going to miss through the smoke, though. Make it harder. That's all he needed. Going to tie it up at 4 kills apiece. And this op is going to be what UCI needs to carry them through this round. Don't forget, Choi Boy has one in their back pocket as well. But look at this. Intelligently enough, Ferg going to be giving up the operator, handing it over to their teammate, Bear. Oh my gosh, Jonah, Bear with these shock arrows make such quick work of their opponents. And Ferg going to be made quick work of when you can't land the kunai.
Yeah, not landing that kunai is so detrimental to Jets. You start to flub a little bit, maybe, try to regrip your mouse and get that nice clean headshot, but he's not going to, as the operator duel goes in no one's favor at first. Choi Boy re-peeking. No, it's just a shoulder for Chris to peek. Nice bait and switch by SJSU. And I really like that wall there, Kenny, from UCI Nibbler. Putting that wall down and B allowed UCI to have a lot of time to rotate in. But just because they rotate in doesn't mean they have the weaponry to take them down, as SJSU is using this momentum to bully the rotations from UCI, bully the members around, make sure that they're scattered everywhere, and they're not able to respond very well. I think it's going to be up to UCI. They've got to make some sort of change in the way they hold. And they do just that. They put the Viper towards the A site.
Oh, we have ourselves Choi Boy with the op, a Platinum actually with a Phantom. You don't see that very often, Jonah. The Phantom beating out the operator in the trade there, establishing dominance in the AR duel, but Fig going to use the Resurrect that they've been holding for quite some time, giving Choi Boy a new license to battle. and that's not going to be taken lightly as Choi Boy picks up one. And SJSU, they're actually stumbling a bit here as it's evened out even after a Resurrect comes through. UCI are going to be evened up. 3 agents apiece, 2 kills per team. But look at that Jet lurking on B side, Jonah. They could be the wrench in SJSU's push.
Yeah, he has the operator, does for towards the B site. So let's see if he recognizes that the members aren't coming from B main, but rather through mid here. Choi Boy watching the mid cross though, doesn't get it. Ferg picks his man up though, still alive in this yellow position, Kenny. Looking for another one, doesn't get it though.
And Ferg had a lot of movement going on their screen. Maybe a reason they should be worried. Choi Boy, their character model gives them up, couldn't see their opponents in time, and now SJSU going to be relying on just Thig here with the Sage, but nobody knows where Thig's location is. It's going to be left up to Sage to have patience. They find one, cannot find the second in time because June was prepared for the trade, and while June is able to get a little bit of time off the clock, they're playing with their food because the spike is guaranteed to go down anyway, folks. 3 rounds under UCI's belt after the 10th round of competition.
Yeah, he's just trying to look for the operator there, pick it up next round. He does get it. Very good for them. And UCI's money, even though they won that round, it is going to be somewhat of a broken buy from them. They're going to have to rely on the ultimate ability of the showstopper from Nacho. They have to rely on that Hunter's Fury to do a lot of the work here. As Choi Boy and Coat from SJSU, they have that lockdown available to them. And last time they had that, they used it towards the A site. But it wasn't available, the Hunter's Fury from June to counter it. But this time it's available. So even if Choi Boy uses the lockdown, we can expect the Hunter's Fury to sort of counter that ability. So going A might not be the best option here for SJSU. And it looks like Nacho showing another reason why going A isn't that great with the showstopper.
Ooh, just like that, you see SJSU, the offense going to be putting the brakes on. As the spike's going to be dropped here, they're not even going to be playing with the idea of planning right away. They want some information. They don't want to give up where the spike has been located yet, but you do see it is going to be picked up by Bear. That is going to be SJSU trying to find a new avenue to attack from here in the 11th round of combat.
And very crucially, the Sage wall in the middle tube has broken now, giving SJSU the advance there. They could go through that tube if they so choose, but Nibbler's there watching it, keeping guard of that position. The territory is his, as every spot has been dotted and crossed by UCI. You see Platinum has A, and the rest of the team has everything else covered. Ferg still with that operator gets a Reyna eye that might draw the rotation from UCI, and it does. Look at that, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. They just threw one blind from the side of Chris, and all the members started to rotate over, so the A site is pretty much free.
Oh, June is getting 1 kill with the Hunter's Fury right there. May be able to get UCI a little bit of something, and that's going to be no time to even get the spike down. Thig is just going to have to settle for getting out alive there, folks. And SJSU, they have 7 rounds under their belt. But the UCI, they have the momentum on their side, and we do know that SJSU tends to be a momentum-based team, so if they want to change that pace, change their fortune, they should put a stop to the bleeding now and get that 8th round going into halftime, because that's going to be a big difference. 8-4 versus 7-5 for both squads. That feels like a massively different round, halftime.
Yeah, the mountain of difference it does make. The Sova drone going in early, spotting Ferg and this operator is really going to be crucial for them. They know the operator's here. They can choose to speed it up, and they do just that with Reyna blinds, Sova drones coming in, and here comes the lockdown from Choi Boy. It gets the members of UCI to fall back, so they're just going to be looking to use this time to get the spike down, get themselves in a really advanced positioning. Figward, he's in a nice spot here with his Sage Wall. Could be rewarded with a frag here, and he goes for one and gets it, but isn't able to get out of his life.
Oh, Nacho going to be picking off 1, picking off 2. It's going to be 4 versus 3 here with UCI. Just trying to keep themselves in this match. They got 2 kills with June right there. Nazi trying to get themselves a phase montage. Unfortunately, only 1 kill goes through. Nacho picking up the 3-piece there in UCI and halftime with momentum on their side.
Yeah, that's going to be so critical, Kenny, because now that they've established the fact that they can fight back on the defense, going into the offense, I'm expecting UCI to run the members of SJSU a little more ragged. You saw SJSU, how they won those offensive rounds. They were able to go A, mid, abuse B. They had all avenues available to them. But you already know UCI is this very well-planned team. They've got some sort of strategies when it comes to mid-B splitting. They've got strategies when it comes to mid-A splitting, the rush A, the rush B, the slow take, the defaults. They've got it in their playbook. And because they've got it in their playbook, we're going to be seeing how SJSU's, they aren't really known for a very patient defense. They're known for aggressive defense. So it looks like they're going to be going for that aggressive defense here, but it doesn't pay off as SJSU's already up mid and towards B.
Oh man, you can see it's going to be B site that's in the sights at least of UCI, the 4 members remaining. And they have the spike going down for free. Partly to thank is going to be that Viper wall, but Nacho, I'm sorry we got that on stream. You don't have to talk about it in VOD review. We'll just leave it at that. But SJSU, they only have 1 member left, and Bear's going to have to play hero here up against the 2 members of UCI, but just like that, Platinum takes him down, and Jonah, with UCI winning this pistol round, very much feels like we're headed towards a tie game.
Yeah, it's so difficult to play without an Omen or Astra on offense, but Platinum and UCI made it work. And now that they've gotten themselves that critical pistol round, like you said, Kenny, they're looking at themselves for a nice bonus. I really want to take this time, though, to point out what an excellent round that was from Platinum, though. He went through B main by himself with the spike. A really large role entrusted on him from his team. If he goes down there in B main to Nazi, the round is pretty much over as the spikes alone in B main. All the members of UCI are towards mid. So a really nice 3K from him, but mostly how he did it and the role he had in that round was superb for him and his team.
UCI looking to take control of B side. You can see, look at your mini-map, folks. Look at the A members on defense. Look at what they're doing. SJSU are going to pincer in the UCI offense, and this may work to perfection. But you have to watch how Chris handles this. You have to watch how the 3 on the flank handle this, and they're not going to be stealthy about their objective. Their position is fully revealed. And even with only Classic, they're trying to make some damage happen. But these Spectres are just so hard to fight back against, Jonah. The difference in gun purchases in the second round of the half is just so hard for SJSU to fight back against. And that's going to be UCI evening up the game at 7 rounds apiece.
Yeah, and there's so much conversation, so much dialogue back and forth about, is this map attack side? Is this map defense sided? I've always been a proponent that the map is series-sided. It depends on the 2 teams playing, and right now SJSU, with their aggressive defense, isn't able to thwart the disciplined, well-coordinated offensive pushes from UCI. Even though the score is tied up 7-7, the momentum since the last half has been on the side of UCI. So I'm not expecting too much unless SJSU can start adapting. They're changing up their defense a little bit, and it looks like they're doing just that, trying to win this bonus round. Are they when they have the rifles?
Uh-oh, watch out. Don't get too aggressive, Big. Nope. It's going to be UCI backing off. They're not playing with Tube right there. I thought they were going to be eyeing it for a second, but A-Site looks a lot more desirable. Nacho, shout out to you with nice movement right there. Quick taking of the high ground. And Jonah, look at how A-Site is unfortunately split up for SJSU. They only have the left side of A taken, and they have to fight to get the other half of it under their control, but successful, I think, in that regard, as Thig, a little too aggressive there, Jonah. You talked about it. SJSU, a very aggressive team, and, I mean, look at where that Sage's body is lying.
Oh, but Platinum giving that kill back to Chris means that it's all evened up, and there is no smoke to watch this cross. So instead of planning, they have to go for the Sage wall and hope that's enough to prevent any members from encroaching. And encroach they do as Chris gets 1 Still looking for more. Is this Reyna? He
The
does
recon.
not have the ability to dismiss anymore.
That's 2 kills by Choi Boy, though.
Enemy remaining.
UCI is
Last
falling
player
apart. They can't
standing.
find the frags. Nibbler, the only one remaining, and you gotta play around the timer. You don't have to go for these frags. You have to go for the kills, but Nibbler trying to do too much. Gets baited. Gets dropped by the bomb. The bomb diffuser. Gets dropped by the turret as well. And that's gonna be SJSU getting their 8th round.
Oh my lord, Kenny, in the in-game leader versus in-game leader duel between Nibbler and Choi Boy. Last map, it was all about Nibbler winning those one-on-ones, winning those battles, and winning those clutches for his team. Now it looks like Choi Boy has found himself a little more wiggle room in this map as puts down in the turret, gets the confirmation that Nibbler's there, and that turret's so crucial because it blocks the damage and also gets the tag on Nibbler, slowing him down so the headshot can come in. Looks like SJSU, their aggressive defense is paying off thus far as they win the first gun round.
Here.
Watch out for
Get out
this
of my
judge
way.
in the smoke here. It's always a surprise to walk into a smoke and just get one tap by a judge here. And Nazi was hoping someone would meet that fate, but no such luck. Maybe, just maybe, it still is to happen. We see Sage getting a little too close for comfort there, and we see Chris trading blows with the Rays of UCI, and no frag to be found. A heal to be thrown out to one. Rays still looking for their fair share of health back. None to be found for that. Nacho going to be dropped. Nazi going to be finding a kill with that judge, actually. And that's going to be SJSU controlling the game here. The only frag going over to the Ferg Kunai from the Bladestorm. 4-on-2 remaining here, folks. You can see on your minimap, Killjoy, the only one left there on B site. She's looking to just play that anchor, play any picks, any frags that could come out of a late UCI swing over the B, but as we
30
can all
seconds
tell,
left.
A site's going to be the location of this plant. It's just a matter of taking down the 3 members controlling it. And that's no easy task. But with the Bladestorm, it could be a heck of a lot easier. And the go button's going to be hit. The recon arrows are going to be thrown out. No frags to be found from Ferg. No frags to be found from June either. Nazi going to be taking full control of that situation. Again, a 3K for the Omen on SJSU.
Yeah, he starts that round with a judge and ends with a Phantom, topping off the charts, leading the scoreboard for his team and the server. SJSU Nazi showing us why he doesn't belong on Astra or Viper. He's given that freedom to play Omen in this current meta, and it's paying off so well for him and his team. Hopefully for the side of SJSU, they can win more rounds like the one they just did, because that round played flawlessly from their side. They allowed the members to come in from UCI and then played the bait and switch setup. This round, though, UCI doesn't have much to their bank accounts. They've only gotten some sheriffs here and there. So look for those crispy 1 clean taps from their side. If they can get those headshots going, Kenny, then they could potentially win the round, but the weaponry and the utilities in the favor of SJSU.
And they do have... Oh no, I was going to say, they do have themselves quite a few ultimates, but now Platinum is making short work of the ultimates available to them. And now with only 2 members remaining on the defense, UCI have been able to turn this round on its head. And with the Viper's Pit active on B site, you got to think that's going to guarantee a spike plant. Alongside that wall as well, it's going to be impossible to crack through. But Nazi able to find a frag by a lurking Nacho. UCI still with 4 members remaining have a good chance at this. But SJSU, they are a momentum-based team. We've said time and time again. When they're feeling themselves, they can pull off some absolutely incredible stuff.
Last player
Nazi looking to be
standing.
the one to pull that off. Nibbler, though, not going to let them have an opportunity at that. Chris, though, could be doing the same. No. Platinum getting the 3rd kill of the round for themselves, and UCI fighting back. 8 rounds under their belt.
I'm really confused there, Kenny, because Platinum was able to just walk himself onto the B site. Choi Boy's turret got contact, but he didn't turn. He stayed still there on the yellow crate position and didn't move. Figure going down means that his buddy on the site is lost as well, and he gets taken down as well. Maybe a little bit of a misplay from him, or perhaps it was a better play from Platinum. Nevertheless, though, UCI getting that round.
Ooh, but you can see June going for an interesting little jump right there. I was hoping they were trying to land on the little, I guess, edge of the divider there, but they're just trying to drop down as they use the drone. A little bit of safety. And UCI is going to be hitting the go button there. And
oh, I love
look
this
at this
plant,
spike
Kenny.
plant. Look at this spike plant here, Jonah. The high ground on the rope, really putting SJSU to the test on their retake. Because not only are they going to have to win out against the numbers advantage that UCI has, the paranoia's got to come out, not going to find as much as we thought. You can see the spike diffuser is going to be coming out here. It's starting off, and there's nobody looking at the sight line. It's going to be a kill on the spike diffuser, actually. Platinum, in the nick of time, is able to find the line of sight. And Jonah, this is why the plant location is so deadly. Look at how many locations UCI could watch the spike from, and how far away they were doing it from, too.
Yeah, they can spam it from mid, they can spam it from A, they can spam it from top belt, they can see it from everywhere. Can the side of SJS of UCI rather? And that was a great flank from Platinum and a great plant there from Nibbler, winning them that round. Thigward was early on that flank with the rest of his team, but they weren't able to capitalize on that flanking position. You saw Nazi there get the 3-man Omen Paranoia down. Wasn't able to convert those kills, but still, that means this game is now all tied up again, Kenny. 9-9 is the score line, but the key factor is the momentum is shifting. UCI is starting to get a little bit more traction into this game.
Oh yeah, UCI again fighting back with momentum, but Choi Boy not messing around, Jonah, just spraying through the sage wall, not giving them a chance to think here. And look at that, the Raze ultimate's gonna come out. Choi Boy gonna be dropped there in response, but Thig throwing up the resurrect. Is that gonna be punished? Yes, it will by Ferg. A nice return there, but 3 members are left. 2 members are left. Bear though, sniffing that out, shutting it down. Ferg trying to make the ace happen, but no such luck. And San Jose State hit double digits first here with 10 rounds.
Yeah, look how fast they were on that rotation, Kenny. As soon as Thigwar went for that resurrection, what's normally blocking that is the Omen smoke. But Platinum, he hit the off button, turned off the Viper wall, exposed Thigwar and the now resurrected player to just gunfire. And, I mean, man, SJSU, even though they misplayed that, they still won the round. And it's looking like it's going to be another round that is a full buy from both teams. As soon as someone loses this one, the economy will be broken, meaning that if SJSU wins this, they will very likely get to 12 rounds.
And UCI seem well aware of this. Look at how they're approaching the site. Oh, Nibbler! Oh, Nibbler, be careful. I don't think Nibbler saw to their right, but the wall's going to be thrown up just barely. Bear gonna be taking down one. Chris taking down another here, and SJSU on the defense are looking so good, finding 2 frags early on here, leaving UCI left with 3 members trying to take control of this B site for a moment. It looks like, and Platinum has the Viper.
Such a different look here from SJSU's defense. They're not pushing aggressively. They're playing the defense on a very solidly. So it's gonna be up to Platinum on this A site. With Nibbler, gets the spam through the green box and the wall, so it's just to be June and Platinum in the 2v5.
The Hunter's Fury is available if they want to use it to stop the defuse, but they're not going to be investing that ultimate. UCI understanding that it was a tough task for them to do. Don't commit their ultimates. Get themselves a round loss. And as Jonah said, the eco is going to start becoming a question for UCI. While San Jose State, they're setting themselves up nicely to set their sights on this 13th round, just 2 round victories away.
I mean, this is the advantage of the Jet, right? You're able to drop for your teammate and then purchase yourself just armor, so you can go for that Blade Storm. Ferg saving his team a few bucks here and there. Now they're able to purchase somewhat good weaponry into the round. But it's going to be up to Ferg. He's got the Jet Knights, goes for the updraft on the player who always does that. Gets there first, looking for another, and Choi hoping to get stopped by the Nanostorm, smoking it perhaps, trying to evade the damage, but doesn't do so.
Nazi. Look at Nazi. Oh my gosh, Nazi bringing the fight right to him, and Jonah, just like that, UCI has the round dropped. San Jose State stepping up to the plate. And that's 12 rounds in San Jose's corner. Game 2 point underway.
Yeah, you saw the idea there from UCI. It was a great one, but they bought back into the previous round. Because of the loss bonus, you get more and more credits for losing more and more rounds in a row, and they're able to afford themselves another bye into this one. It is somewhat broken. They've got some utility lacking on a few players, some light armors across the board, but crucially, they have that Resurrection and that Hunter's Fury. The Hunter's Fury will stop that Killjoy lockdown from Troy Boy, and Platinum should be able to use this Viper ultimate on the post plan. So if he's able to get onto A, the Viper's ultimate coming down, it will make sure that they probably win the post plan if they're able to get it though.
Ooh. Gotta keep a lookout here for the Ferg, looking to be a star player in this site retake. They're gonna be taking down one as Ferg responds to the kill onto them, and as Jonah said, it's gonna be the Viper's Pit thrown out. Ferg, nicely done there. But we keep seeing a trade come out, and oh no, Platinum just falls. UCI, this entire squad is just falling apart at the seams here, Jonah. And San Jose State, they are looking, they are poised, they are ready to send us into a Game 3 in the Western Regional Finals.
I love it, Kenny. Going into map 3, I wouldn't expect any less from these two teams. These guys are true champions. Both teams fighting tooth and nail for this victory. Of course, this is the Western Conference Finals. And frankly speaking, Kenny, we're seeing a lot of great things from both teams. Both maps have been 13-9, 13-10, and we're seeing a lot of good gameplay individually. But also the team strategy is on point right now. It's just coming down to these marginal differences between who's hitting their shots on the day and who's rotating just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, Nazi putting up a stellar performance right there. You can see 25 kills on the board, leading out the entire lobby, the only member to hit the 20 bomb mark at least. But even across the board, you can see there was not much heavy lifting left just to them. It was a team effort coming out across from the side of San Jose State University, and very much a well-deserved game number 2 victory. But folks, this means we're going to game number 3. This means we're going to be seeing Haven played in our third map of the evening. So don't go anywhere. Game 3 between UCI and San Jose State is going to be coming right after this. Welcome back to stream, everybody. Beanies and Best Student coming at you as we have game number 3 between UCI and San Jose State University. And with game number 1 and game number 2 each going over a little convincingly, with the scores respectively coming out, I believe, 13-8, 13-9. Here coming into game number 3, Jonah, on Haven, we will have an opportunity to see which of these teams is going to be cementing themselves as the best in the Western region before we hit those CF1 Nationals.
Yeah, Kenny, and we've got a really tight contest between the two. I really want to highlight the last map, though. Nibbler didn't look that comfortable on the Sage pick. He looked a lot better on Ascent with that Sova. And Haven's a map you don't necessarily need to play Sage, so we could see a return of the Nibbler Sova. And if that's the case, I think SJSU has a lot to figure out, as Ascent plays a lot more like Haven, and Icebox is really a beast of its own, right? So if we're gonna repeat past performances from the two teams, then we're gonna see this favor UCI a little bit more, as the lobby's just having a little bit of an issue for now. We'll be back with that in a short bit.
I mean, maybe the lobby just wanted to take a break. It was a little burnt out, you know. It saw that those 2 games, and it was like, guys, like, we're getting into the 3rd game. Give me a second here. I gotta make sure I'm ready for UCI SJSU.
Gotta take a second there and just relax for a bit. So
catch my breath as a bunch of 0s and 1s. Just.
Yes, the deep breathing exercises before every cast. I always hear Kenny going. No, I'm just kidding.
What am I, Sharpay from High School Musical? Anyone who gets that, you've seen High School Musical too much.
That's a really good reference, but I'm not too much of a High School Musical fan, but I have seen that. That was actually a pretty perfect imitation, though. I'm not that much of a fan, but I'm giving you credit here, Kenny. You can't just throw me down the trash like that.
You gotta culture yourself. You gotta learn about High School Musical. It wasn't just a tidal wave of culture throughout the late 2000s into the early teens for no reason, okay? It didn't just jumpstart Zac Efron for no reason, okay? I mean, we could go on and on, but he didn't actually sing in that movie.
It brought on like such shows that we know and love, like Glee, and I mean that eventually probably had something to do with America's Got Talent. So we saw a lot of game show variety, a lot of reality show perhaps from that. But either way, this game of Valorant right now, UCI and SJSU.
That game, I remember Valorant.
Yeah, the one we're here to watch, and these two teams are very stylistically different, right? You got SJSU, they're the heavy hitters, they're heavyweights, they like to come in swinging and fight you. Whereas UCI is the team that's like, they want to play the distance a little bit. They're like outboxers. They want to keep the distance, and then as soon as you go for something, they counterpunch you, right? So these two teams are very different stylistically, but the key difference is that the map pool. We talk about styles, but we don't really talk about how they blend to map pools. And Haven, it's a map that favors UCI a little bit more.
And why is that?
Well, because of that counterpunching, because a team likes to push onto A, they're able to respond with flanks, they're able to respond with utility. They play retake, right? On Haven, since there's 3 sites, if you allow the enemy team to take the bomb site and then play retake, you're setting yourself up for a little bit more success, right? If you go down to the site and you don't get anyone, as SJSU likes to do, if you don't get anyone, you go down the site, then you're putting yourself at a numbers disadvantage. Whereas UCI, they play it tactically smart. They let them have the bomb site. They say, okay, that's all yours. And then we'll come in afterwards and we'll punch you right back. And that's what lends itself better to maps like Haven and Ascent. When you can play retake so well on these 2 maps, that's going to be a little more UCI favored, I feel like.
Well, we're finally going to get a little bit closer to our answer here, folks. We have ourselves into map number 3, Agent Select, and UCI and SJSU are wasting no time locking in their picks. And Jonah, a quick scan of this, we have mirror comps, except for the difference in duelists here. We got a Raze coming out from Nacho on UCI, and we got that Jet from Thig over on SJSU.
Yeah, Thig is known as an operator player on that jet. He's trying to open up things for his team is Thigwerb. Whereas Nacho, he's the player that's been sticking to Raze pretty much throughout the series. It's a change in mindset, right? Some teams like to run the Raze, some teams like the jet. If you have the jet, you're looking for your teammates to really pop off, right? Have those crazy highlight clips. But if you have the Raze, you got a lot more utility to assist your team with, right? You got the Roomba to scout out for your boys, and then you got the nade to come in as well. And Double Satchel still offers you a lot of mobility, similar to how Dash Updraft works. The only real difference,
can even clear, you know.
Yeah, Satchel can even clear. It's just how different teams approach it, how different players prefer it. The thing I want to highlight though is Nibbler not on Sova.
Big, yeah. Platinum not on a controller either. Platinum going to be on that Sova, as you said. A lot of lineup switches here, or excuse me, agent switches in the lineup for UCI. And this Ferg on that Omen this time around, giving up the duelist duties to Nibbler. Nazi's going to be putting on the show here with the Omen. Look at that, holding down the site. As you said, SJSU is a very aggressive team where UCI is going to give up the site. You can see SJSU stands their ground, and it pays dividends here, taking the pistol.
Yeah, they just stood there and fought like heavyweight champs did, Nazi. The man just stood back there and cleans up 3. Man, that Omen blind, look at how many players it gets. It just stops the whole bush.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can see once the paranoia comes out, 2 members are left up front here, and then the other 3 members of the offense on UCI step back down C long, back into that Cypher smoke. And that split up is all that SJSU needed to take advantage of the round. And you can see why. It worked out beautifully. They get the first round on the board. They have the bonus round in their hands now. And SJSU are looking to turn this 1-0 into a 2-0. UCI with the bomb here, Jonah. They're taking initially towards C, but then they swing it back towards A for a moment where it looks like there's going to be 3 members of the defense lying in wait.
Yeah, this is a different look from SJSU. They're playing 3 people here, but they're not really in aggressive positions.
Oh, Bear! And honestly, Joan, this entire series, Bear has been putting on a clinic with these shock arrows, being so incredibly lethal with this utility on Sova that you don't see many people picking up frags with, usually just chip damage. But Bear, time and time again, is not only landing the chip damage, but securing kills with these arrows.
Yeah, such a weird thing to see from SJSU too is not only the fact that Bear's continually landing these shock darts, but also I believe this is the first pistol round and second round they've actually won this series. So
I want to say so too, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of a different look for them. Maybe they've warmed up their engines. This team is known for their individual skill, and they're showing us why.
Ooh, you can see Nibbler wasting no time trying to get UCI onto the site. Chris going to be dropped early on. A paranoia is thrown out. Bear, a little bit of a victim there for the moment, but nothing to really come of it. Spraying through the smoke is going to put a little bit of chip damage onto UCI's lineup, but total cumulative damage of what looks like maybe 50 HP off of 3 members, so not much to worry about yet. As UCI is
getting this operator in grasp.
Massive shot there. Fig getting the kill, almost giving up their life as well, Jonah, with the tailwind just barely of not hitting the corner as they wanted. Still do get out. But now with the 4 versus 4, it's a little bit of a slower look here. UCI not wanting to give up a 3rd round in a row. And they're eyeing C-Site yet again.
Yeah, they got so many members stacked here. Does SJSU as the paranoia comes out from Nazi again, picking up June. Bear gets Nacho, and that should be all she wrote. Is Thigwerb doesn't click mouse a 1 in time, and Platinum with the insane shot. That's 1, no 2, the 3rd. He's doing everything this round. Choi boy. He staunches the bleeding for his team. That was so interesting. It was just back and forth. I thought Platinum was going to be the hero. But it's Choi Boy winning the bonus round for his team. SJSU, man.
Jonah, that was just pure and simple, as you said, hero plays from both of these teams. Platinum and Choi Boy having to step up massively. I mean, Platinum getting 3 eliminations just like that, leaving Choi Boy the only one to pick up the remaining 2 frags. I mean, you can't write a better script than that, as SJSU were able to keep themselves 3-0. And I think the most important part of this entire event, or this entire exchange here, is how it's affecting the UCI purchases now, as the squad is going to have to come into this round with sheriffs aplenty, and that's going to be the best of it. There you have just frags, I guess, to look for here. Maybe a pick, maybe 2. But Chris is going to be the first one to find it on his clone of all places, taking down Nibbler.
Yeah, Nazi snuck his way into mid, backs up at the wrong time though, but gets traded by his teammate Big Werb, who is up top, up high with those blades. And what he was trying to do there was Nibbler was he's trying to build up his run it back. And now that he's got that available, that ultimate extends himself some room, gets himself an extra life. And the offense of UCI, though they haven't found traction just yet, they are on track though to take a round, and perhaps the other 8 if they're able to start steamrolling themselves through these bomb sites.
And we've seen flashes of brilliance here, specifically looking at the Platinum play. Now, UCI not wasting any time, and Thig doesn't even get the dash off. No tailwind to be seen. And oh my god, look at Choi Boy's patience. That was so nice, but Nibbler able to turn around in time and prevent the run it back to be read and dropped. So overall, UCI doing a great job at getting the spike down and possibly setting themselves up for their first round win of Game 3.
Yeah, and that's the difference between those two teams. SJSU goes down with the bomb site, whereas UCI plays the retake, and UCI abusing that fact, and Nacho is paranoid with the showstopper, but still should be able to use it. Nobody giving him the free chance, though. And the retake is 3 versus 3, but the 2 players of UCI are smoked off in long, but that doesn't matter because Ferg, he's got it unlocked.
Yeah, Ferg puts Chris to bed. It looked like a moment there where Chris may be able to make a play happen, but unfortunately they do get stopped, and SJSU are going to have their first round loss of Game 3 here, going to have to bounce back for the first time, whereas UCI, on the other hand, have their first taste of victory in this 3rd game, and now are looking to cement themselves in a comfortable spot with their economy. They want to make sure that after this round win comes through, as long as not too many people end up dying, they should be able to set themselves up to withstand at least 1 loss at the hands of SJSU.
Yeah, and it's going to be the focal point of their defense to get Figward into play with this operator. He is on those C stacks. He will be challenged from the garage position, though, as he misses and dashes away. Should be tagged up by the drone, though. Can be spammed from this positioning. So Nacho goes for the wide swing with the satchel. But Nibbler says, no, 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 my friend. You cannot do that to me.
Bear loses the spray and pray duel against Nibbler. Going to be left with 72 HP. And Nibbler actually ready. Chris has run it back and then prepared for Choi Boy to respond, throwing out the volley. And now with spray and pray coming through the smoke, it's only going to be a matter of time for UCI to take the round, and UCI starting to feel themselves a bit.
Yeah, we talk about the hot hands on the team, right? Who's feeling it? Who's doing well right now? And it looked like that was all Nibbler's round. He gets not only the first and the second, knows the run it back's location, understands that the Phoenix player will use that spot, and reads his clone like a book. Getting them another round is going to be so, so crucial for them as they want to get to that magic number of 13. And SJSU, they're finally forced on some sort of disjointed half-buy. This is one of the first few rounds I've seen Big without an operator. Let's see how the members of SJSU perform towards this A site, as they have 3 players here ready to defend.
The shock arrow comes through. No such luck to be found.
Headshot.
But June, finding the headshot onto Thig, going to be taking them down. A nice set of killing blows there. UCI have the numbers advantage, Jonah, and with 2 members of the defense already eliminated, it's not going to be easy, but keep an eye. Oh, okay. Bear trying to get themselves on Jackass, I think. Just screaming.
That's
Johnny
the
Knoxville
SJSU
jumping out the
defense,
window.
Kenny. He just jumps out like crazy madmen.
The best defense is a crazy offense. That's how the saying goes, right?
Last player standing.
Exactly. And it looks like Nibbler's got those hot hands. He can do no wrong, Kenny. He's got 4 of the round, 3 last round. He's going to bolster himself to this top of the scoreboard here. And he's got another run it back. So look for him to use this round as a you know, just another extension of the hot streak he's been going on.
And now I should point out, Joan, the 2 players you started off highlighting on UCI, Nibbler and Platinum, are the ones currently topping out their leaderboards. They are putting in the work, doing the heavy lifting, getting the frags needed, and carrying the team. But not to understate the value of the rest of the squad here, but Platinum has made some incredible plays throughout this entire series. And Nibbler, time and time again, is putting the team on his back. As you see right here, the run it back is going to be thrown out. Not going to get anything really for that. It's actually just going to end up being Nazi who waits it out. The patience was beautiful from the Omen on SJSU, and that's going to be 2 kills rewarding said patience. A third for Thig's patience coming in as well.
Yeah, they got to retrieve the spike through the jaws of Thigward's operator, and they can't get it back. We all at the June on this lurking Cypher. Bring it back for his team. Looks the wrong way, gets spotted by Bear. Bear with those shock darts, we know what he likes to do with those, but he chooses to go for the headshot instead. Saying, I don't need arrows. It was a good round, Kenny, from UCI. I liked the idea. They had the follow-up, the run it back, but it wasn't to be. Nazi on this C site with that Omen blind has been a constant menace. We saw him win them the pistol round with that nice 3K, and this round he picks himself a couple players on this C plat position. He's able to keep himself tucked and then expose himself at the right timing. But look, SJSU, they've got so many ultimates here as they look to get aggressive towards this A sewer position. And that's the operator I'm talking about, baby. Let's get it.
Look at Chris. Ooh, Chris trying to find the frag. It was a little messy, but still ends up finding Platinum there. And SJSU are bringing the fight to the UCI offense here, Jonah. Look at that, June. 2 HP remaining here on the Cypher.
Yeah, I'm liking this aggressive defense from SJSU, and UCI doesn't seem to be playing very calculated as we're used to seeing from them. But as I say that, it's going to be Nacho. He does the calculations. He's figured out the defense. There's no one in garage. No one's watching that. Picks up Nazi, that C-slide anchor, super easily. Now he's on for another, and it's Bear who's in the better position. But it's going to be the spike planted 2v4, Kenny.
And look at that, the 2 HP June still alive and kicking here. Going to get the spike down. Nice little ultimate thrown there for the Cypher who had recently used it, the Neural Theft. You gotta watch, how can you use that sub 5 HP to its most? Well, pick up a frag, and that's all you gotta be asking for. Ferg also finding one, Ferg finding another, and this is a 1v1, Jonah. Oh my god, UCI pulling it out! The 2v4 clutch comes in huge for the UCI offense.
Ferg, my man, what are you made of? What are you eating? Give me your mouse, your chair, your mouse pad, the sensitivity, the monitor settings. Look at this clean, crispy tap. Even confirms the kill, gets the third on the round. He just needed a teammate with 2 HP, Kenny. He just needed one guy to help him out. And there it is. That round was so critical. Now it's going back and forth between the two teams. This is so good for both sides because if you go back and forth like this, no one really gets that round loss bonus. So you gotta start with winning this next round. Because if you can start building up these momentum, you can really start rolling. And SJSU doesn't want to let UCI do just that.
That right click coming in so massive right there for the SJSU side. Opening the door for Thig to just continue causing some chaos for UCI. But Platinum really stepping it up here. You can see A short is no joke for the UCI lineup. And they're eyeing the A site as a destination for the spike. The From the Shadows is going to be used. Sees the counterpart of Omen on C site. And now the push towards A is coming out with the spike. And the executes follow through. But Thig not going to go down without a fight. Finds one. Finds a second through the smoke with the cover. Recon is going to be your friend, my guy. I was going to say friend twice, but Didn't want to repeat terms, and Spike goes down.
Yeah, and they've gotten themselves a post plant here. Nacho has that showstopper. Nazi's still with this paranoia. Should be using it towards default, but gets countered both ways. Trollboy eats that showstopper to his right side. Isn't able to get taken down. And Ferg, my man, not again. Whenever he's alive with someone else, they have a 100% win rate, you know, like just everyone else die, you know, and like on the team of UCI, and just let Ferg 2v2vx, you know, with his teammate. Whichever one is the case, though, Nacho on that round was stellar. The entirety of UCI got scanned by that recon bolt from Bear. They were all revealed, right? And Thigler had a field day with them, popping off heads with his knives left and right. But Nacho, he has the recon dart on his side of Platinum, and he gets a nice 4K that round, Kenny.
Does indeed, and that 4K is going to tie it up for UCI, catching up to SJSU, who came out the gates firing on all cylinders on this map 3, Jonah. But now UCI are going to be the ones who have taken the momentum back for a moment. But a good point you made earlier was how we're seeing a lot of back and forth round wins here towards the later stages of this half. And really, that could be a detriment to both teams because you don't get to build up either the win or loss bonus. And those who continue dying out in those rounds are really going to be strapped for cash. So you got to make the most of your lives in these final 2 rounds of the half. And Nazi doing the most for SJSU, giving them that first blood lead.
Oh, that first pick is going to be so awful for them as the neural theft comes in, revealing the offender's location. And Thigwerb should know that this player is to his left, knows he's there. Platinum gets put in his place right there as Thigwerb on this jet came to play in map 3. He's had a rocky start in the first 2 maps, but now he's showing why he's been the only jet in this series to really play the character, but also perform on it.
C site's going to be secured. That jet you talked about still alive and well on the defense, and SJSU willing to give up the site, not going to put too much effort in. But this is where they're really going to find their footing. This retake that's about to follow through. You got to watch out. You can't push through this smoke too aggressively. You need to use the cooldowns. You need the utility afforded to you. And you need to trust your
still
teammates.
alive. He's in the 2v5.
Oh, Ferg. I can't believe Ferg found 2. I can't believe he... Oh my god, Jonah. Ferg actually almost did that. Ferg actually
was in the
2v.
Kenny. He almost wanted it again. He just needed one more shot. But it's going to be June, the favorite month. Or rather, Choi Boy, not the favorite month. Picking it up for the side of SJSU. The in-game leader showing why he's the man. And just shutting down Ferg is so important right there, Kenny. The man's on fire. And you just put him out a little bit.
Insane. Right now, Ferg is averaging over a kill a round, and in terms of tax shooters, that is incredible numbers to be putting up. But on the other hand, look at Thig. 15 kills across 11 rounds of competition. That in of itself is an incredible set of stats to put up. So both teams have stellar individual performers showing up in this game 3. And even though it started out very one-sided, it's shaping up to be an incredible finale to this Western region, as SJSU and UCI are battling it out for who is going to go into nationals with that #1 moniker attached to them.
Yeah, it's about the pride, about the seeding, and also about the money here, as both teams are trying their absolute best here to find any small advantages they can. And it looks like UCI has found some purchase towards his ace site. Hunter Sphere goes on to Chris, but it's just his run-it-back clone, so it won't be too much as the judge.
Choi Boy showing up big. We know earlier on in the day, Choi Boy was showing up massively on Ascent, using the Killjoy, using the Judge, looking like a Jet player from back before that nerf came through. The Nibbler going to be finding said Jet player in transition and pick them off. But Jonah, Nibbler could be finding another, going to be taking down Bear. Will you be getting Nashi as well? And that's not going to be Nashi falling.
But it's Ferg.
Excuse me.
He's in a 2v3, Kenny.
This is where Ferg loves to live. This is where Ferg thrives. This player has consistently put up performances when the numbers are against them. And if you look at the HP pool, this is the kind of 3v2 that is made for a comeback. There are 2 members, sub 50 HP. Phoenix being the only one on this defense, or on this SJSU squad, I should say, that is able to put up a full HP set. This Troyboy is going to get the defuse because Nazi can't finish off the kill, or will finish off the kill, but Platinum can't finish off Nazi.
Oh no,
SJSU gets the round.
The spike wasn't planted properly. It was planted in such a way that June was able to get, or rather Troy was able to get on the spike there around the corner. The arrow from Platinum didn't actually reveal the player sticking the bomb, so that round going into the favor of SJSU. Somewhat of a mistake by the bomb planner towards that C-long position, not really planted favorably for them. Able to get that defuse off, as you said. But it's not all lost for the side of UCI, as now they're moving over to that defensive side where they're so calm, so disciplined, and able to just rotate their way around, and they've got themselves a new look. 3-man aggression, A main.
Player standing.
Jonah?
I'm not sure what that was. It looked like a 4-man aggro, but it works out for SJSU as they came out with the heavy hitters, and now it's just going to be all up to June.
Spike's going to go down. June has to pull off a miracle play. 3 members staying in their way. They have 25 shield. They have the classic. And they're going to be dropped immediately by Nazi. And SJSU making quick work of the UCI squad.
Yeah, UCI wanted to play a more aggressive style, catch SJSU off guard, but it just didn't work out for them as the aim duels went into the favor of SJSU. They are these individual players, both teams having, Radiant and Immortal players across the board, so it is a quite heavily stacked lineup for both sides. Nevertheless, though, both pistol rounds going to the favor of SJSU.
Careful now.
And now it's going to be up to SJSU to continue this lead with their bonus round as well. The buys are big for them here in UCI. Not going to be looking for too many aggressive looks. As you see, Ferg with the shorty is just going to be trying to catch 1 player, maybe 2 if they're feeling lucky. The UCI already down 1.
Yeah, we're not expecting too much here from the side of UCI. They got a shorty right here on Ferg. The classics and pistols isn't really do too much versus these Spectres, which pack a punch versus non-armored targets. Ferg just being revealed here, getting mollied off, pushed back, and now into the awaiting arms of Bear as Choi Boy finds his 2nd frag of the round. Looks like that's all she wrote, unless June and Nacho are able to pull out something spectacular. Getting spotted, though, doesn't help his case as June chimes in with 1, but can he get another as Bear shuts him down for the 3rd kill? His 3rd kill, and Kenny, it's looking like SJSU, the train don't stop as soon as it starts going. That's exactly what they're doing here.
They are the embodiment of the little engine that could. Just keep telling themselves, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And by the looks of it, they will. SJSU going down early in the series, we should note as well. Able to bring themselves back into this series with that Game 2 victory. And now trying to take down UCI in this Game 3. And by all looks, SJSU are set up beautifully to be doing so.
Yeah, and it was just a month ago when UCI actually took SJSU 2-0 on these similar maps, and it's gonna be a response, though. Nibbler and UCI doesn't want to go softly into the night. They've got rifles. It's a bonus round, of course, from SJSU, and UCI, they're playing their disciplined style. They're playing retake. They've given up the site. They're allowing the flank to come in now. Now they're going to have a coordinated push back in. June's camera is still there. So the members are going to start pouring in as Nibbler and June and Platinum. Everyone just comes in at the same time. Very expertly played from them as there wasn't really much SJSU could do there. UCI gave them the site for free, allowed them to get on there, and it was Nibbler coming up huge on the flank that ultimately won them that round. And they're showing why they were able to 2-0 SJSU with this stellar, disciplined, very collected, and, you know, cooperative. Like, they're cooperating with each other. It's very teamwork centric, and that's the kind of play that they've been known for. And if they're able to do that again and not let Nashi and Thigwork to get too many in the round, then they should be able to pick up another one here.
Well, SJSU, they themselves even admitting they are very swingy, very momentum based. And they're gonna have to try and fight the momentum and take it right back here. That run it back, gonna be dropped. Oh my God, Nibbler, dropping
The Phoenix
Chris in
difference.
Clone Wars. The Phoenix difference right there through the smoke. You hate to see it. But SJSU now down the member, gonna have to fight back, and Ferg is gonna make it a little bit harder for this offense now with the defense. 2 members up, that can start to feel overwhelming.
The falling headshot is such a delight to see from Valorant here, and Bear, he's gotten the tripwire down, so they know, UCI knows that the players will be here in mass towards the mid area, as 2 players are there. Bear getting 1 does mean that UCI can no longer play a retake, as the Cypher going down does mean that there's no tripwire and cam towards that bomb site, but still, it doesn't matter if you can go A if everyone from SJSU is towards this mid and C area.
Wow.
And if you're here, I mean, come on, man. You're playing against Nacho. You're in that garage position. That's where Raze dominates.
Nazi trying to take the hero role for themselves, but unfortunately that was going to be Omen sniffing out the other Omen's movements. That's going to be UCI on defense. Jonah, you talked them up a lot, and so far their defense is backing that up. They are looking very good on these gun rounds. They look very practiced with a fully kitted out setup and the ability to retake a site as 5.
Yeah, you see June here at the bottom of the scoreboard for his team, but that's because he's playing the Sentinel role. He's staying alive long enough so his tripwires come into effect. That gets his teammates free shots on players. And look, Nibbler and UCI, they're going for the aggression they went for on Pistol Round. The exact same setup, but this time, Nibbler has his weapon, and he's got it locked onto the enemy faces of SJSU. Even burning Thigwork down to a measly 3 HP means that Nazi, they find themselves, SJSU does, in this awkward 3-on-5 situation every round where they've got to break this tripwire at mid. So they're just trying to look for some sort of avenue where they can gather space, but it doesn't seem possible for them as all the bases are covered by UCI.
A very slow look here. You can see the spike nowhere near any site yet. But as I say, that Jet makes her way towards the window, overlooking the B site, but nobody knows. Nobody on the defense is aware that Thig's movements are here.
Spike dropped.
And that's where the mind games come in. This is where SJSU is looking to move. But without being known, without being
30
sent,
seconds
some
left.
solid snake gameplay. An A site, A-long to be specific, is going to be their course of action, but look at what they're doing. Splitting up, sending the Cypher down A short, going to be causing a little bit of chaos, this Choi Boy. Possibly finding a kill, going to be a risky peek against Nibbler. Nibbler looks at the worst possible time the other way, and this has been giving SJSU a chance to take the site. That's 2 members down from UCI. And all of a sudden, the round that looks so bad for SJSU is now perfectly evened out as the spike goes down.
What a well-timed dash there from Thigwork. Unfortunately gets spotted out by this drone, but he's still alive and fighting into the round. Platinum here with that recon dart could find his opponent. Dropping down, gets taken out though.
1 enemy remaining.
But that was a lot of value with the 3 HP that they had. And unfortunately, though, the 3 HP target is the one who pulls out the most for SJSU as UCI finishes off the rest of the team around them. And that's going to be the 8th round under the belt of this UCI squad.
Yeah, it's so hard to break this UCI defense. You really got to prod and poke early and try to get that numbers advantage. They're giving it to you towards A, though. Is Nibbler and co. They're fighting you here on A, so perhaps you could do something there to staunch that bleeding. Nevertheless, it does appear to be a broken buy from the side of SJSU. They still got those knives, though. They've got that run it back. They've got the weaponry, the tools they need to win this round if they can find some sort of Bladestorm updraft headshot, some sort of, miraculous pickoff from Fig.
Ooh, the
Going for it doesn't get it
are
though.
landing, but no kill to be found there. A nice look from SJSU, and again, that's going to be Thig thrown down to 6 HP this time. My God, really? Just being stuck every round with under 10 HP. This poor Jet player.
Yeah, but he's still going for it. That's the confidence you love to see from the duelist players there. Even though he's 6 HP, he still goes for the peak. Doesn't get reward for it, but still, nevertheless, he is just plan A, and his team's got a plan B, and that is the C site. June here waiting with his buddy Ferg towards that garage and C position. The smokes go down, the executes in. Here comes Chris.
Look at that paranoia. June going to be taking one down, Jonah. June going to be taking the second, the third. June is having an absolute field day right now, looking to finish off the round. Ferg taking away the possibility of an ace. The Platinum going to be finishing off the flawless for UCI, who ties us up at 9 apiece, everybody.
Yeah, and very crucially, though, SJSU did not invest the run it back that round, nor did they invest the from the shadows. That means they'll have these two tools going into this round. So expect to see that Phoenix really take a frontal charge here, just like Nibbler did on offense, and see what Chris can come up with here on this offense. Is if he's not able to get himself in and get at least one before getting traded out, then SJSU really won't be able to do too much. A really crucial tactical pause coming in, a much needed one for not only SJSU but also UCI.
Yeah, very agreed. That's 4 straight rounds you can see, folks, going over to the side of UCI, who got themselves back into this game after being down, a 9-5 score after 2 straight rounds for SJSU. So very much a swing of the game here, giving us the perfect showdown for Game 3 of the Western Regional Finals. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better coming out of the Wild West, a region where the level of competition throughout all of Split 1 and Split 2 has been top tier across the entire group, and SJSU and UCI have embodied that kind of performance throughout the entire year.
Exactly. These are the 2 top teams, both teams having players that are regularly showcased in Tier 2. And these players, they spend a lot more time playing Valorant than do other collegiate students. And of course, they're rewarded for it by being 2 of the best teams here in the West. Of course, UCI, with those scholarships, has that esports center to brag about. And the tac pause is down. That means we'll get back into the action. Everything seems to be defaulting. No teams coming out with strategies. It looks like both teams have decided to take things slower, but I cast a curse and Chris just says, screw it, I'm running in. But it's a diversion, Kenny. Look at all the members of UCI. They're expecting the from the shadows and the run it back to just take them to C, but it's a fake, Kenny. They walk on over to the A site. Nacho's here, though, to stop the rotation. Spotting one, challenges Chris and gets him. That's going to be the UCI defense winning up in numbers, and it looks like UCI, now they've gotten the man advantage, it doesn't seem that SJSU can do too much.
And you think that tac pause came in for UCI with how they're performing right now. And SJSU are really just struggling to find any semblance of success on this offense. UCI picking them apart with surgical precision here, getting their 10th round on the board, hitting double digits.
Yeah, I really liked the idea from SJSU, Choi Boy being that IGL. He called for his team to do a diversion play with the run it back and from the shadows. Ultimately, it didn't work out, and it was mainly because of the timing. The players on A did not walk in at the same or a little bit after. They waited too long. And if they wait too long, then the rotations will come back in. And that's where you saw Nacho in that mid position. He was able to get 2 of the players walking back because, frankly, the A push took too long. You see them, they're not even up A yet. They're not even on A, right? When Nacho gets this frag and he gets the second, they're still not on A. Now finally they've gotten on A. It doesn't matter, though. They're down in numbers. And that UCI defense, it's really responding in spite of the tactical pause in the call from SJSU.
And with only 3 rounds remaining for them to take the series, 1 HP remaining for Nazi here. going to be a tough task for SJSU to take this site here. They don't have the guns available to them. At least one member did, but Chris going to even up those odds, take control of this round, and Nazi, one little HP remaining. Choi Boy also joining in the fun as well. Oh my god, Jonah Platinum with the lineup. Oh, we got to get a replay of that arrow because that was incredible to see what happened there, but the spike is still going to be put down, and UCI are still going to have to retake, and they do so with such ease, Jonah. I mean, I can't even say that comes down to the retake or post-plan or anything. I mean, that's just clear winning your aim duels, straight up. Both players winning their gunfights, and that's how you take control post-plan.
Yeah, SJSU had the number advantage, but they made the mistake of planning for default while Sova is still alive. The shock dart's coming in onto the bomb planner. Gets the one, and with his weapon, he gets another. And that's mainly going to come down to not understanding that the Sova being alive means this default plan isn't safe. New life being breathed into UCI as they're looking to beat SJSU as they did last month, but this time by a much tighter scoreline. Only if they can pull this off, though, as Nacho goes aggressive. It's deterred by the one-way smoke from Figward, meaning that the entirety of SJSU, they've gone C, they've gone A, Kenny. It seems they've run out of options. I guess, you know, in their heads, like, you know, you went A, you went C. Maybe B's the option now. Maybe B's the play, right? You know, you crossed out everything else. Maybe this is the only way to go. It looks like they're split up a little bit.
Students know that when in doubt, you choose C. So if that was me, I was going to be choosing C site there as well. The Nibbler going to be putting the wrench into that plan. Going to take down one. Almost finds Chris as well there. Just dropping them down to, I believe, 36 HP, it said. And SJSU with 3.5 HP, or 3.5 fully kitted out members. Going to be pushing onto the site here. Bear is going to break it open by taking down Nibbler, so that's a good sign. But Platinum getting one, Platinum getting another. Platinum trying to get a third. UCI, though, making quick work of the rest of this team. San Jose State, just one member remaining, and that's Chris, trying to make a flash play happen. But all the Flash is going to do is give Ferg an easier location to pinpoint. And that's going to be Ferg securing the 12th round for UCI and Jonah. UCI's at series point.
Yeah, at the top of the show, I said UCI was going to take Haven if it came down to it. Ascent, a map that plays just like Haven. Of course, SJSU did end up winning Icebox. But still, Kenny, you got to look at these plays that are happening right now and wonder, why is Platinum getting these frags with the shock darts onto default? They know these players do that. You can't stand on the default position and plant there if the Sova is still alive, and yet they're still falling for it. Maybe UCI is throwing SJSU for a little bit of a wrench, as a lot of things are starting to go wrong here as they're not really able to find any momentum going. And as we said, they're a momentum-based team, and without any momentum, they seem to be starving.
The drone coming through from Bear, following up that A short, hoping SJSU can just locate some food to feed them, satiate this hunger. They have been grasping at straws to win a round. I mean, Jonah, I think they've dropped 7 straight rounds at this point, has SJSU. They're just looking for any way to get back into the game. As Thig and Choi Boy are going to be pulling their weight, pulling some heavy loads there, alongside the Hunter's Fury coming out. And this offense just has to deal with the retake that's coming through, and Thig is doing just that. Nacho gets the fight brought to them. Ferg, throwing the paranoia out, is looking to give UCI a fighting chance on this clutch, on this retake, on this 2 versus 4. We've seen UCI do it before as well, Jonah. We've seen UCI be able to pull off the incredible, the inevitable, maybe the retake, but SJSU are going to be stopping that in its tracks, and they still fight for another day.
Yeah, Kenny, I'm really hoping this game goes into OT, though. It's got the workings of a great matchup so far, and you really want to see how that happens. SJSU, they said, screw it. We know that UCI is going to be playing for the retake, so instead of letting them do that, let's fight them in CT. And Thigward pushing up there, gets an early kill, as well as gets the player June in heaven, meaning that the retake isn't so good anymore. And UCI, they're going back to their pistol round strat and the gun round strat that won them. They're doing the 3-man A aggro push. Let's see if Nibbler gets one, and looks like the smoke off and Fig Warp on the other side isn't going to be challenged, but the spam through the smoke is there, and so is the Sova drone.
Oh my god. Jonah Nibbler got a little aggressive with that. You were saying he was just spraying through the smoke, but I mean, you know, they were spraying through the smoke too, and I guess luck don't be with the UCI team for that go of it.
Yeah, but look what was invested. Both sides throwing their paint shells, their Sova drones, and because of that, it's still a minute left, and the defenders of UCI only raises on this A bomb site. Nacho's alone here. Of course, he has that showstopper, but is that going to be enough to stop the encroaching members of
No.
SJSU? And it looks like it is going to be enough. He goes for more. Gets out
Jonah.
for now.
The patience to hold the showstopper there is huge. Getting the frags
30
with
seconds left.
the guns. And I love the fake that comes through. Giving a chance to just make them think, make them wonder where he went, what he saw. But Nacho gonna pull out that showstopper. And Jonah, I complimented the patience with that before, but now it's gonna be
Spike
finding zero value. And SJSU are turning this round on its head, picking off 2 members and leaving UCI with just 2 to retake B site.
Yeah, I'm liking the exploitation of this B bomb site. It's gone undefended for so long, but why defend it when
No way.
June's there? And Choi Boy!
Oh my
What is
god,
that?
Joy Boy.
He opens
That
up the
is a
round.
game, a series-saving play, Jonah. That's a series-saving play.
Oh man, and both teams still have enough money to buy back into it, Kenny. And Chris, with this run it back, can let his team on offense get traction towards the A site. But UCI is correctly adapting to it. They've leaned 4 players towards the C site, so this inevitable C take will be a clash between the players. Is up to Ferg here as the anchor to stop the run it back from Chris. He's gonna go in, Kenny. See what he can do.
Berg throws out a smoke. Not going to be investing the paranoia, I believe. Holding on to that cooldown, but Nazi did use the paranoia. Chris also using the run it back there is going to be a lot committed by SJSU, but they do get control of the site, and they get their jet out alive. Another crucial part of this equation. And notice this, Jonah. Every member of the offense is holding on the long site. They plant the spike in accordance. But now it's going to be the mind game. Now it's going to be the site blocking, I would guess you could say.
Choi was going for the flank though, but he gets
Vision.
snicked out by Nibbler.
Nibbler going to be picking off one, June going to be picking off another, and the trades come back through for SJSU. The offense is finding the kills. There's only one member to play defense here, and he's got to find another trade. He's got to find 2 more frags. He's going for the defuse. Nobody knows he's on it. He's going to sneak the defuse, Jonah. I can't believe it. Nibbler just snuck the defuse to win the Western Regional for CF1.
That was absurd from Nibbler. He not only reads the play that Joy Boy is going to make, he goes back to garage, picks him up, comes back in, takes out 2, and then goes for the stick and defuse. I mean, great play there from UCI. They played fully, just very tactically and strategically sound Valorant. They were able to allow the enemy team to go and waste their util, play that retake, and they came back in as a team. I mean, I can frankly say that the better team won, but the better individuals on SJSU maybe had a little more to say. It could have been a whole different ball game, Kenny, if we had seen, instead of Chris, the sub, we could see Teddy perhaps. But still, nevertheless, we do have our winners, UCI winning 2-1, and it was a tight one, Kenny. It was anyone's game, really.
It truly was anybody's game, coming down to the score you see in front of you, folks, 11-13. And that was by no small feat. Both of these teams putting in a heck of a lot of work to get to this point here today. And both teams have very much earned the right to compete in the national bracket for the CF1 tournament. But with now having a #1 team in the Western region officially named before next week we go into the playoffs, we will have a chance to talk with one of the members of UCI and our victorious #1 in the West team as we head to a very short break. But when we come back, we'll have that interview for everybody.
I'm the only one alive who get me to the other side. The other side. I'm the only one alive who get me to the other side. The other side. Giving up, letting go. Times we might feel compelled. Looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control. When we feel like the world is against us, we're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Beanies and Bestoon joined alongside one of the members of our victorious squad from UCI. We have Platinum joining us. And Platinum, to start things off, I want to get your thoughts coming into the series today. You had already known earlier on today you were going to be facing off against SJSU. And coming into the series, because you've been a region where you played everybody so many times, how did you feel coming in against SJSU, and were you prepared to go the distance like this?
For me personally, I had the utmost confidence in myself and in my team. But we did prep quite a bit for SJSU for the first time, actually. We usually don't prep, but we respect them a lot. And coming into this, I think it's a pretty big tourney. It's pretty important to us. And we just had to make sure we had our homework done. Saw their strats, wanted to counter strat them. And yeah, coming with the fill, it's going to be difficult, but we edged it out. And then
Yeah, we saw that counter strategy in play. The first pistol round on Ascent, you guys were stacked like 3 or 4 people mid right there. You saw the SJSU rush, the mid to B split so many times. You guys countered it very, very well with all the utility and the players you had there. So I'm wondering, you know the maps after the pick ban phase. Did you also prep for bind and split too, or did you know kind of how the map pool would break down with Icebox, Haven, and Ascent?
we mostly prepped Haven and Ascent, and we did kind of go over our compositions for the other maps, but that's about it.
Yeah, so I mean, you wanted to ban the other ones, right? And then hopefully, you could win these two as they are the maps that you guys have been playing the most. And another point I want to get from you is you played 3 different agents, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to start off the game, right? You played Astra, which is a very different look than we've seen from you. And then you went to Viper on Icebox. And then you came all the way back and you did the 360, 180 no scope thing where you pulled out a bow and you're on Sova. What's that like? You got 3 different agents that are completely different in the way they play. So, well, talk me through that process of why you did that. Why did what was going on there?
I mean, before coming into this final, I used to be just lock-in duelist. I think
Yeah.
a couple games I was playing duelist. That was just because we wanted to have fun and we didn't care that much. But here we respected him a bit more, and I feel like I wanted to flex other agents and wanted to fill around my team because I think a lot of the other players on my team have a really good understanding of their characters, and I just wanted to fill around them, and it should be good. But that's about it. I think I'm pretty good on Sova for the most part, but Nibbler's really good on it too. So we honestly have like a lot of different comps we can play because I can just fill anything.
That's going to be really scary going into the grand finals where we'll be playing the 2 champions from the East and the Central region. And of course, you're going to eventually perhaps have to play SJSU again. Is there anyone out of those 5 teams, Rutgers, UW, we also got UH Premier and Hamu. Is there any one of those teams that you're looking out for?
Depends if SJSU has their full roster. I know they had a fill coming in. But for the most part, I don't really know who's on the teams for the other teams, but I've heard that UH is a pretty good team. And I'm pretty sure we'll be well prepped coming into this tourney.
Well, that's going to be the most important part of it, is preparing for your opponents. And especially the fact that we're going to have our inter-regional competition starting up. It's going to be even better seeing these new faces. And with that said, Platinum, I want to give you a chance before we finish this out, before we end the stream. You guys, hard-fought victory. Any thank yous, any plugs, any shout-outs? I mean, while you're at, plug your stream and get a few follows. Floor is yours.
Okay. I just want to thank my team. They carried me today. Shout out Ferg for coming in. He's a fill for us, and he stepped it up. Got a lot of kills, got a lot of clutch rounds. And also shout out to Ziggy, our coach. I think he's played for the UCI team before. Go Zigger, go home. He's insane. He's pretty much a genius at Valorant, I guess. He's been kind of coaching mid-rounds sometimes. It's pretty good, really helpful. And, shout out all the moms. I know a lot of people had to give up some time today to play in this tourney, and I think everyone should be grateful for what they have.
Exactly. Shout out to moms. Shout out to your mothers. Mother's Day ending with a UCI victory, and now Platinum, you guys can set your sights on the national tournament next weekend. But as we end tonight's broadcast, thank you for the interview, my friend. Congrats on everything you guys did tonight. Congrats on the great performance, and good luck going forward. But for us, For everybody watching behind the screens, thank you for checking out the CF1 broadcast. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for us to see the Eastern Region Finals take place. You heard it from Jonah before. Rutgers is taking on University of Waterloo in a best-of-3 to determine who's going to be the number 1 seed coming out of that Eastern group. You're not going to want to miss the action. It all kicks off 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on the CF1 Twitch channel. And until then, I've been Beanies. That's been Jonah. On behalf of Juke, on behalf of Lawrence, Kieran, and Scotty, thank you guys for watching our broadcast of CF1. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.